Hello and welcome to Drachmae and Demigods. My name is Sammy Ferber, and I'll be your host for the evening. Welcome back. Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I know I did. I know the cast did. So we hope you had a wonderful time with your family, and we hope that you're keeping safe. It's scary out there again, so be safe. Get vaccinated if you're not vaccinated. Wear your mask, even though it's annoying. Keep the world safe. All right. All that out of the way. Announcements, just the normal ones. Follow us on all of our social media. There is a little slideshow thing that plays throughout the entire episode that will give you all of our social media info, both for Drachmae and Demigods and for each of us individually. Go ahead and shoot us a follow on all those platforms. It really helps us out. And if you miss an episode of The Links to Tartarus, or if this is your first episode, welcome. You can watch all the episodes of The Links to Tartarus on our YouTube channel, as well as a couple recap videos as well. We're probably due for another one soon. So, with that said, we are going to hop into the story. So, previously on Drachmae and Demigods. The Hands of Fate hired a whole crew of officers for the ship that they wanted to commission. Then they actually commissioned the ship. But they now have 2 months before their ship will be ready to set sail. So, in the meantime, they plan to leave the officers here in Voltura to look after the ship build, while they continue their quest to gather the links of Tartarus. And so, they began saying their goodbyes to this city. Ahead of them, Delphi, Syllovyn, all the other places where Titans are taking hold. So, Hands of Fate. You all wake up after a restful night's sleep, here in Voltura. The sun shining through the windows, the cool breeze, this late autumn breeze. What would you like to do?
I need the helm from Ryujin so I can attune.
Okay.
Before that, sorry, just give me a minute. Everyone else go around. I wrote it down. Bad memory. I'm sorry.
Sure, that's fine. Any last minute things that you guys would like to do before you head out of the city this evening or this morning?
Let's say goodbye to the people that Traumacrates.
I'll say somebody said they needed to talk to Cassandra, so.
Yep, I need to talk to Cassandra and say goodbyes. And there's probably not a library here, is there?
No. We've been
You
through
guys,
this.
someone at least went to look at what they have in terms of a library, and it's mostly just a record of wars and battles.
It was
Okay.
me. I was trying to do research on the muses.
Yeah, definitely
yeah,
not the place for that.
Found that out.
I'll go and try
Did I
and
say
talk
bye to
Cassandra.
the one smoke?
I think you did last night, right?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
okay. I'm
You did
making
when you did the
sure.
canon commission.
Yeah. All right, so you guys just head into the Traumacrates? Not a
Yeah.
problem.
Wait, where we at? I slept on the Traumacrates, I feel like. Didn't we?
No, didn't we have the party at
Yeah, I thought you
mansion?
guys slept at your mansion.
Yeah, we had the party at the mansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
the goodbye party?
Yeah.
All the
well,
officers.
that's-
Party.
Are they like wasted? Are they like leaning over the couches like blah?
Speaking of, so you guys come downstairs in the morning, and there are definitely some stragglers here. You don't see the entire crew of the Traumacrates, but you see like Teos is like curled up with some random woman from town. There's a few stragglers here and there, but you don't see Cassandra or Anemios or Traia or any of those people. So you do make your way out of the mansion, not knowing when or if you'll ever be back to this house. Not knowing, even if you do come back, if it'll still be your house. So you say your goodbyes to the house itself.
Did
As
you
you
want to
make
take
your
a
way.
piece of the house, Ryujin?
Yeah. Actually, I will look for like part of a loose brick maybe, or
I'll say you can take
Something.
like you can find like a small candelabra that looks nice and also still portable. So instead of taking something from the wall, you can just put that in your pocket.
How
Okay.
big is this candelabra?
It's not like that big. It's more like a candlestick than a candelabra.
Ah, candle. That's a funny word.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We're all in a place today, aren't we?
I couldn't say it right.
So you guys make your way out of the inner ring, make your way back to the docks, and the familiar hull of the Tromocrates. You see Cassandra there enjoying the deck and this cool morning. You see some sort of warm mug in her hands as she takes in the morning dew, and she sees you all approaching. You off then?
Time.
I was wondering if I could actually talk to you for a few minutes before we do say our goodbyes and head out.
Of course.
Okay. I'll just like go to her office or the captain's quarters, I suppose.
Sure. She sits on her bed and she directs you towards the chair.
So, I remember last time I asked you about the the chest that you had, sold off in Apple's Folly.
Yes.
I can't remember what details you said about it, but you said there was a weird feeling coming from the chest, like.
Yes, there was an odd feeling. There was certainly something of some sort of power within. But I could feel that it may potentially be a bit more attention than I needed. Potentially the wrong sort of attention. I did not want to investigate further and potentially make some powerful enemies.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very curious as to what was in the chest or where it might be. You might have a clue to what happened with my mom, and I was wondering if you had anything from Apple's Folly, anything that you may have gotten when you had sold it or when you spent time there.
I was paid in gold. I haven't kept it separate, so I don't know which of the gold I have now is from Apple's Folly. I'm sorry,
Okay.
This was years ago, Ryujin.
I know. I just thought it was worth a shot. Do you have anything from Nepeot? Small trinket?
The only thing that we took from Nepiot was there was a gem that Traya was given.
Gotcha. Oh shit, okay. Sorry, out of character, my bad. I just had a brain light bulb. Okay, alright. We're gonna be heading out pretty soon, and might not see you for a little while.
If I may leave you with some advice. Curiosity is natural, and I have seen you and your friends do miraculous things. But I have also seen your dead body. So just remember, you are mortal. It is natural to have questions, natural to seek out answers. Just be careful. Not all mysteries are meant to be solved.
Is there any more detail you can give me about what you felt from the chest? Was it like evil? Was there malice? Anything like that?
I don't believe it was evil. I did not get some sort of evil from the chest. It was more of... It was as if It was as if there was something evil that shouldn't have the chest. I wish I could be more specific. It was a feeling. It was not something specific.
Do you remember what it looked like?
Yes, it looked old. It was made of wood, and it did not seem like it should have been as well put together as it was. It seemed that the wood was so old that it should have long ago faded into nothingness. And there were letters, I think, runes or something in a language I did not speak. I wish I could be more help.
Do you, by chance, remember what the runes were? Or maybe something similar?
I'm sorry, this was 16 years ago.
No, it's okay. Well, we appreciate what you've done for us and how you've helped us. I just figured I'd pick your brain before we left. Not sure when the next time we'll see each other will be. What can happen,
Hopefully, at the latest, 2 months. The Tromocrates may make some trips, but we will plan to be here fairly often in order to keep an eye on Traia and the Nemios as they keep an eye on your ship.
Sounds good. Are you gonna try to find someone to, I don't know, replace the role of Hermes?
Yes,
It's kind
I
of hard
suspect
to
that
replace that,
that will be somewhat difficult here, but it is
Yeah.
something that needs to be done. So I think we may pop to a more accepting city and try to find someone with some skill.
Okay. Well, I'll just walk up and give her a hug, and yeah, we'll just.
Ryujin, before you go, I did have something I wanted to give you.
What's that?
And she reaches into her desk. She pulls out something that's like wrapped in cloth. She goes, "This city is where we turned the Virgin Naiad into the Tromocrates. And so while we've been docked here, I have asked around, tried to find something for you. And this is all that I could find."
Okay. Something. Okay. And yeah, I'll take it and unwrap it.
It feels and looks like a plank of wood, slightly curved. But you can see in half-chipped paint the tops of some letters. And it looks like the top half of a wood plank that used to say the Virgin Naiad.
You think I could use this to make it easier to get back here? And I'll just tink on the helmet.
I do not know how that works. No, I mean, maybe. I just thought it would be sentimental for you.
It is. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Well, suppose we should finish up saying goodbyes and do what we gotta do.
Be safe.
And I'll look for a Traia, but you guys can go first. I'm gonna eat some chips and guacamole.
Okay. All right. Would anyone else like to do anything on the deck of the Tromocrates?
I want to also go find Traia.
Great. Not a problem. Traia did sleep here. So she is below decks. You go and you knock on the door to her quarters. She answers, and she is very clearly, she has not had a lot of sleep, that she was out at the party with you guys for a while. Her hair is all askew. She opens the door, like, fucking What?
We're getting ready to leave, and we wanted to say bye.
Oh god, you guys are always so timely. You're like up at the crack of dawn.
In my defense, we're going to get some answers, hopefully, so I'm a little anxious too.
Alright, well, I guess I'll see you soon, right?
Hopefully. What was it that I want to do? What did I want to do? I want to pull out the statue of Urania that she gave me and go to hand it back to her.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull the wooden statue of Huntress Alexandra out and show it to her and be like, I've got someone else to look over me for now. I'm gonna find out my answers, but you deserve this as much as I do.
She takes it. Thanks.
Yep.
Should we, like, make them kiss, like with dolls?
No. I mean, like, I just, you're the one who got me thinking about how she could be tied into the mark on my arm. And the statue that I have in my hand is the reason that I'm in this mess to begin with, it seems. So it's only right that the captain of our new ship has it, I think.
Well, thanks. I've missed her. Although now, I think I may need to have one of the old pops as well.
Hey, it seems to be a growing trend. That's what this one is to me, so.
Don't get killed, okay?
I'll try not to.
And hey, if you come across any of the other 6 sisters or whatever, I want in.
Alright, I'll let you know if I do.
Thank you.
We gotta find you another, one of the ones in the ocean. Now that I've got your gem.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, but sure.
No, we'll be back eventually, hopefully. We just wanted to come say bye.
Yeah, I mean, I expect that I'll see you in 2 months, right?
Hopefully. Unless anything goes wrong.
If something does go wrong and you guys aren't here in 2 months, do you have any preference of where we take the ship?
That's, I guess, more of the people who are better about the ship than I have preference to. If we don't come back in 2 months and I'm gone, I will say, come look for me in Syllovyn. That's probably where I'd end up being, but...
That's a long ship journey. We'd have to go below the Spartan territories for that. All the way around.
Fully just, if I don't come back, that's where I am. If you ever want to come and, get the gem back if I do die.
I think you care about this gem way more than I do. I'm glad that it means so much to you, but, like, it was just something they gave me. But look, if you guys aren't here in 2 months to pick up the ship, I'm heading to Athens with the ship.
That's fair.
So you can
fair.
find me there.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna go to, like, reach out my hand to, like, grasp, I guess, her forearm or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, thank you for everything.
Thanks for
Whenever
saving
we
my
get
life.
back, I'm gonna teach you how to fly, finally.
You know, flying fish do exist, okay?
I'm gonna teach you some of the other ones.
Sounds good.
All right, and then I'm gonna let everybody else say their goodbyes.
Ryujin?
I'll just walk up to try a give her a hug. Say, listen, kid. I know that we can count on you, and I know you've been through a lot, and I know you're very strong, and very smart, a lot smarter than I am, and was at your age. Just keep an eye after the ship and the officers, and try not to get under Anemios' skin too much, okay?
Aye, Captain.
And pull out my trident probably get more use out of this than I ever have.
Are you sure? You guys are just giving me presents like all the livelong day today.
Yeah. No, if I end up needing another one, I'll just have one made or look for one. But I don't use it often like I used to. It's kind of just a reminder of a different time.
All right, shit, I won't complain. Shink.
Yeah. And I'll just ruffle her hair.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, I want you to know something. The first thing I'm gonna do when that ship is made and it's ours is I'm gonna fart in your bed. 'Cause I feel like that's something that siblings do, and I've never had a sibling, so I feel like it's overdue.
Jesus. Whoever that is. I mean, listen, whatever floats your boat, okay? Just...
Your boat. It's early. My filter isn't working yet.
How come none of us like chose to put any like siblings in any of our? Oh no, that's a lie. Alexios has a brother.
Yeah.
Nice. Rest of us said.
And you have an entire orphanage of siblings. What are you talking about?
Not real siblings. I'm just kidding. I love orphans.
Don't die, okay?
I want to give Chaya something.
I will try my best not to. This time.
Adagio, you want to say goodbye to her too?
I'm gonna give her a pile of the leather strap thingies I made. Be like, make sure each officer gets one. This one's yours. I'm gonna call you guys the Phantom Fingers, because you're not the real fingers for the Hands of Fate, but you're Phantom Fingers.
The Phantom Fingers? That's fucking badass, I'll be honest.
Then I'm just gonna hug her and be like, listen, you white-haired, pale child. I'll miss you.
And she calls over to Alexios and Ilme. Everyone else gave me presents.
I throw her a ball bearing. There you go.
Gee, thanks, Ilme.
That's extra special.
So I will try to find Alexios to look for Rangrim.
Rangrim?
Sure, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Okay.
I can use message, but I want to do extra creepy. Like I would deadass be like, well, thank you.
Pretty good roll, actually. You said
I mean, I just
investigation?
said animal
Yes.
messenger, just a random bird shows up and talks to him.
So I got a
Is that how that
17.
works?
17?
Mhm.
So yeah, it doesn't take you long to find him. You find that he
With Alexios,
is...
though, right?
Yeah, well, Alexios was with you on the ship. So both of you are able to go and find him. He is in the midst of what looks like making a fairly hefty backlog of boards of surf. It looks like he has about 10 or 15 of the base model, and then he and someone else are like starting to paint some to get for more of the luxury items and stuff. And he looks up and he goes, "Hi, hello.
Hi.
I'm glad you found me before you left town."
Mm-hmm. I want an insight check.
Sure.
Check the bags.
Okay, that is gonna be insight. 18.
18. Yeah, he was hoping that you forgot he existed.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the update? How many have you sold? What's
Oh, we aren't selling them yet. We're just building them up so that for our grand opening, we've got plenty for people to buy, because I think they're gonna go quick, and I don't just want to have like one, and then it sells, and then that's it, you know? So a bit of an investment, but I think it's gonna work out. Already, just from building these out in public, people are asking questions, people are coming up. There's a heavy interest in them.
So are you opening up like your own shop for it, or what's happening with that?
I think I'll start with a booth and see how it does here, and then I might move to a different city. You know, the seas around Voltura are not the most forgiving. There's lots of sort of creatures in them and such like that. So if it works here, then I have to assume it'll work even better on a normal shore. So I might get my start here and then franchise out. You know what I mean?
Okay. So the hold on, out of character, what did we agree on? Like a 3-way split?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll just have, either Triea or Anemeos, or I'll look over at Alexios and like kind of questionably ask like the one smoke, could be the collectors for our shares of the sales. And before you pack up and move, just give them notice and we'll figure out a way to get that sent to us, or we'll find you.
Of
I
course.
kind of want to intimidate, like just a little bit.
For sure. Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Okay.
Send our really badass officers to collect.
Intimidation. 15.
15. Yeah, he
Wait.
looks at... Yeah?
Yeah, sorry. Just had to make sure.
He looks at you and he's like, of course, yep. Wouldn't dream of any other arrangement. It is, after all, your idea.
Mm-hmm. Don't you forget it. Well, it's...
How could I?
Coin seems to get to people's heads. We wouldn't want that now, would we?
No, just coin in people's pockets.
That's fair. Yeah. Listen, Redgrim, I'll be honest with you, okay? Just be honest, be honorable, and it'll go well for all of us.
Sounds good
Because
to me.
Alexios and I, we have no intentions of, doing you dirty, doing you wrong.
Of course.
We all came into this endeavor willing in equal parts, and improving the ideas, and it came to fruition with the three of us. It'd be a shame if it were to end differently.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Okay. I want to pinch his cheek. It's like, all right.
All right.
Alexios,
Happy journey. Anything else?
I mean, if there's anything Alexios wants to say, then but
I think you covered it.
Did he have any gold?
Hasn't sold any yet.
Yeah, he hasn't started selling them yet.
Insight check.
I mean, that's a bit delayed on that.
Yeah, true. It's like as Ryujin's walking away. Wait a second.
Yeah.
One
Alright.
more.
So, if there's nothing else, if you guys want to meet back up on the deck of the Tromocrates,
To the phantom fingers again.
I'll just just have Cassandra and Triea and Ameos be aware of the situation with Rengrim and this stuff.
sure, absolutely.
All right.
And Adagio, you wanted to gather the officers?
Oh no.
Okay.
I just met
So you
Anemius and Triea.
Gotcha.
Two
So
of
you
the
guys are
phantom
all
fingers
on the deck of the Tromocrates.
So we ready?
Also, that's a silvered tip.
Yeah, it's a silver trident. Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Can she use that? Out of character, would she have the strength to use a
Isn't it-
trident?
All Poseidon demigods can use tridents. Strength isn't really her thing, but she can use it. Yeah.
Why did Ryujin never use it?
Because the damage with a trident is what, a D6 or a D8,
Yes, I think it's or something.
and my Eldritch Blast has been a D10 plus 4 since day 1.
It's like in Redemption.
So, Eldritch Blast was just always a better option, and my strength modifier used to be -1, so it was damage from
1d8
trident -1.
But the trident might be good if you're in melee with someone, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're
But
right.
it's not often either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to be like pretty long mid-range.
All right, so here's the first question: where are you headed?
We're going to Delphi first, right?
Yeah.
And are
still
you
wearing the
doing it?
helm.
Are you using
Yeah,
the helm
we're
or are you
clean.
using the stone?
I
trying to get
feel
back in
like
the
we
broom
should
closet.
probably use the
That's
stone.
good.
That way we still have the extra charges on the helm if something goes wrong.
I already used
Well,
it
if we're
once
gonna be in
today.
Delphi
I
for
can't
a
use
day,
it again.
Then it'll recharge at dawn.
Yeah, if we keep it.
What?
The stone will Oh, are we talking about the stone or the helmet for recharging?
The helm.
Well,
'Cause
that's
both
if
of them
we
recharge
stay
at dawn.
in Delphi for the whole day. We don't know how long things are going to
It's
take.
because it's early morning right now, right? Like
If we
Yeah, you
use
guys
the
woke up.
stone,
Use the stone. Oh, Della's gonna
we
snatch
have
it
the
back from me.
element of surprise.
On who?
Yeah, on who?
Who are you
Nobody
trying to
knows that we
surprise?
have the helm.
Yeah, I say we use the helm, just go straight back to the
Use
house.
the helm and just say we used Gatestone. Like no one's gonna know that we teleported with the helm.
People know we have the gatestone. They don't know
We'd
we
have to go back. Listen, if we use the gatestone, we're gonna end up in Odella's closet again. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
but
To be
most
fair,
of us
to be
aren't
fair,
even
she
going back to
moved
the
them.
house.
She moved them.
Most of us aren't even going back
We're
to the
over
house, though.
a spike pit now.
The helm can drop us off anywhere, like in Delphi. Like, you can drop us off at the Center's temple. I almost said palace. Sun Palace.
Well, how many charges does the helm get back? Because don't you have to roll for the charges that it gets back?
Yeah, it's a D3, so I would assume just a D6 halved.
Yeah.
You still
and
need to
right
roll
now
for
it's at-
yesterday, then.
That's a good point.
So if you roll a
We
one,
used it yesterday.
If you roll a 1, we're
Oh,
fucked.
twice.
True.
You're gonna use it twice, right?
Technically, if I roll a 2 or
I'll
1,
Use it all
we're
3
fucked.
times.
I wanted to get my money's worth, man. It's just expensive. 7th, it was all my
Okay,
money.
fine.
Okay, I have like
It
50
depends
gold
on how
left,
many
but it was,
charges
like,
you have,
all my
'cause-
money.
I guess we could Gatestone there and then save the one charge
Okay,
to
I
get
rolled
to
a 5.
someone.
So that's a 2.
So it has
Two charges.
2 charges back.
Okay.
We would end up
Wait,
using
definitely
both
gets to Delphi.
charges if we use it to go to Delphi and then to Syllovyn.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
we would
because
still have the
round down in
stone to get us
D&D,
back to
right?
And it's also
Gotcha.
it's like 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are 1, 2, 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 1, 2, or 1, 3, 4, 2, 5, 6, 3.
Because then all I know is
I
that
just got
if it's
confused.
the Gatestone, I feel like Odella's just gonna be like, okay, I'll take that back now. And I also wouldn't be able to say no. I'd just be like, yeah, here you go.
Okay. Then are we just
Well,
gonna use
she's
the
already
Gatestone?
said that we're allowed to hold on to 1.
No, she
Yeah,
didn't.
we only
Did she?
have, we only have one.
She's
now.
yeah. Now you
Yeah.
guys only have 1, and she said you guys could have 1,
Yeah, she
Okay,
told us
bet.
we could have
I'm
1
keeping
so
it.
that we could get back to Delphi if we
and
needed
you
to.
you assume that the one that you guys sent Alexius's mom with is no longer part
We
of
do
your
assume.
responsibility.
Yeah.
I hope so, Odella. Sorry about that.
So yeah, no, she told us we were allowed to hold on to 1 so we could get back to Delphi quickly if we needed to.
Okay, fine then. Which one do you guys want to use, Gatestone or Helm?
I say Gatestone.
Gatestone.
Let's hope
Yeah,
she
we should
didn't
probably
get
Gatestone.
shoved in a damn closet. Okay, everyone, grab my hand. Put your hands in, Power Ranger style. Yellow Ranger.
Can I be the
Oh,
Green
yeah.
Ranger? I have to be Blue Ranger, huh? Damn.
Oh yeah.
Green Ranger's my favorite. Screw it.
Who would
Green
I
Ranger, let's
be?
go.
Purple Ranger.
Purple Ranger.
Put your hand in.
Red Rangers. Red Rangers. my
I'm taking
favorite.
Green Ranger, man. I don't care.
Let me give you the
There a
Black Ranger.
black one?
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah.
Is there a Purple Ranger? I didn't think there was.
No, but there's a purple Anura.
You could be the pink one. The pink
No,
Ranger
I
then.
don't like pink.
Pink,
Ugh.
yellow, and
That's what
blue.
you get for
Power
being
Rangers
last.
and Space
As you guys
Sailors,
argue,
the purple one.
Adagio activates the stone, and you all feel your stomach go and you are momentarily non-existent before you rematerialize elsewhere entirely in a
Can I say we left
completely...
Ome?
Huh?
Can I say we left Ome?
No!
No.
Unwilling creature. No.
Gosh, no.
You open your eyes, and you are in a room that you don't recognize. You...
Oh God. Don't tell me. Dude, you know,
We're
my
in
brain has-
jail.
I think a lot faster than I speak.
You You look around and it looks like the walls are made of unchiseled stone, like almost like a natural looking stone, and the room is entirely filled with bookcases. They line the walls, and there are bookcases in the center of the room, making like different sort of hallways in this room. And it's not a terribly large space. It looks almost like a bookcase storage room, essentially, and all the bookcases are filled with books and scrolls and that sort of thing.
Is this the library or just
Keeneye's
new
place?
space?
Am I getting Keeneye vibes?
You can make an insight check.
18.
18. I mean, Keeneye likes books, so it's
Me
not
too.
completely out of the stretch of your imagination. But the room itself, you do feel like it's like somewhat familiar to you,
Can
but
I
you
look for the
can't
other
quite
gate
place
stone?
it.
Can I just talk Maturgi? Is anyone there? Hello?
Hold on, but before
Hold on,
that,
first.
can I look for the
First.
other gate stone?
Yes, Ryujin, you see the chest that you know Odella had all the gate stones in is right here on top of one of the bookshelves.
Can I flip it open, grab the matching pair for the one that Adagio has,
How would you want the matching one?
just in case?
We can't
But
go
send you
we
back to
can't
me.
get back to Delphi then if
Well, okay, fair. Then I'll grab another one.
Just gonna steal a gate stone now?
Hey, man. Gotta do
Pick
stuff.
one. Pick a
Fine.
color.
before Adagio yells
blue.
out, can I look around the room and see if there's anything that kind of like gives away where we're at?
Make a perception check.
That gate stone.
Oh, thank you, dice, for not rolling bad. 23.
23. So you notice two things. You look toward one end of the room, and you see what looks just like a doorway, like a normal ass doorway. And you look toward the other end of the room, and there's something weird on the wall. It almost looks like some sort of arcane crystal or something that is embedded in the wall and seems to be like pulsing out some sort of energy. And you realize where you are. You're in what used to be Ruxal's secret treasure room in the tower.
I knew it.
I turned invisible.
You're
Can
gone.
we get the fuck out of here?
I already called. I want to call out. Where are these bitches at? Why are we here?
I'm gonna get the fuck out of here while this is happening.
If we all walk out, we're walking into Keeneye's main office anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm
This is why
grabbing
we
the
should
matching pair.
teleported.
Nope,
I'm
I'm
grabbing-
turning.
When I get the gate stone, I'm taking a complete set and the other one for Adagio because I feel like if these
I'm
are here
taking
all the
the-
time and this is where we're gonna come back to, we're fucked. So
You take the other gate stone that I
I'm
have. and
gonna
just
give
send
it back to
myself.
Odella. It's
Oh my
fine.
god. Why are you gonna give Odella a gate stone?
Because I would rather us go to Odella than Keeneye.
Oh my
So
god.
Il may turn invisible.
makes
I'm
sense.
gonna turn into something and get the fuck out of here.
Which
Only
way?
one exit.
How?
Oh.
I'm just not going to be Anura. I'm going to turn into a tiny little rat and run out of like under the door out of the room.
Okay, you
just gonna
look
walk
and
up the
the door seems to not have like a crack at the
Oh,
bottom.
shit.
Like
Is
it
it
looks
locked?
like it,
You know
it
what?
was specifically designed for this space.
I also
Hold on.
don't have the thing
How
up for
many-
rat.
How many gate
Listen
stones
up.
are in the chest? Can I just like look?
Grab the one for the
I
one that they
think there
came
were
back
only
with. Do they still? Oh, they might not still have it.
4, 5,
Does the door
6. I think there
open?
were. I think there were 7 pairs.
I think 7 sounds
Seven?
more
Are they
right.
all there?
There was the green one, the light blue, the dark blue, the purple, the red, the yellow, and an orange? No,
yeah,
black.
yeah. I think that's right. Yeah. So, but yes, they are all there. Actually, no.
Okay, I'm grabbing-
There's one that would be missing.
Fine.
Do we know which one? One that Ruxal had?
Yeah, it was the one that Ruxal had.
I'm grabbing the whole chest, and I want everyone to come over.
Why? Oh my god.
Listen, we're probably not in a good spot right now, and I think we should use the helm. If there's no exit, right? Like the door is shut.
The door's
we
shut, but
open
like
the
there's a
door?
I
knob.
run to the
Open.
door as invisible Ilme and open it
Yeah.
and
it-
shove Adagio through.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Out the
go with it
window.
too. I'm just gonna be like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna assume this was destiny.
Okay,
Elizabeth
so
looks so proud of
Are
that.
Ilme-
there windows?
what was
I
that,
get for China.
Alexios?
Are there windows?
No, this is basically like a cave, and you guys have been here before. Like, it looks like a mini version of the cave that was in the swamp. And it looks like Keeneye or someone has found a way to, like, magically seal the little mini rift that there was that connected to the swamp plane. But yeah, so Ilme, you invisibly just open the door, you twist it open, push it out, and then you push Adagio through. Adagio, you tumble into an office, and it is definitely the same space that used to be Archmage Nadar's office. It has been redesigned, but the actual like architecture is the same. And you see sitting behind a desk covered in all these sort of bookshelves and magical instruments and that sort of thing. You see Keeneye is sipping something, and he almost like spits it out on the paper and goes, "Oh, that is
I'm
quite
gonna look
a
him square in
surprise."
the eye and be like, I guess you could say I'm falling for you.
Inspiration.
Hello.
Alright, how's it going?
Uh,
Sorry about the intrusion.
It has been
Can I,
quite
as a
while.
rat, bite his ankle?
You didn't have a rat.
I thought I didn't have it on the list, but I had giant rats, so I pulled up rat. I just bite his ankle as a rat for that.
No, Ilme closed the door, and you didn't slip through because there was no
No,
crack.
I did not close
No,
the
Ilme
door.
did not close the
I
door.
So
opened
I'm-
it and
I
shoved
cannot.
it
I'm
through.
gonna bite Adagio's ankle.
Make an
Kick
attack.
Anura so they turn back.
Said make an attack roll. What is
Yeah.
okay?
Wording flare.
I
Why
don't
would you
know.
bite his ankle? What?
How do I attack as the
What is
rat? Where is it?
happening?
+0 to hit. Okay.
I'm
Disadvantage
shoving all the
'cause I have
gate
wording
stones
flare all attacks.
in my bag.
So
Like, not
what
the
have I
chest,
got?
just
I
all the
got
gate stones.
disadvantage, you said?
Disadvantage because Isaac can wording flare.
Are you
Okay.
gonna warding flare this?
I'm not attacking anything else throughout the day, I think. I think. I don't know.
Just wait till you use it,
I
and
don't
Keeneye
think
just
this
pulled
is-
out a gun.
It's literally 1 piercing damage. I can't do anything more than 1 point of damage.
Oh my god, whatever. 1 point of damage because
So you said you're not. So you're not warding flaring.
not wording flaring.
19.
My AC is 18. No, nice.
So you take 1 point of damage, Adagio, as you
Rat
feel this
Anura.
rat
Points
just
I have.
gnaw at your ankle.
Yeah, kick him.
Make an attack roll. Unarmed
Please
strike.
don't. I will immediately revert back.
I don't know what you
You're
expected.
a giant rat sitting in. You know what? I'm just gonna ignore that. Whatever.
I'm
just gonna
not a
look at
giant
Keeneye.
rat.
No,
see that
Anura's
you're
a rat
settling
rat.
in. I see that you're settling in.
I am. I must confess that I am a bit surprised to see you. Are you with your friends?
I apologize. Yeah, they're back there. We had to gatestone back to Delphi, and I'll just like show my gatestone and be like, Odella allowed us to keep this one specific in case of emergencies.
Yes.
She didn't tell me that she was changing ownership, guardianship of the stones.
Yes, sorry. She did mention that you had a set. We did mean to send you a message at some point. It was low on my list of priorities.
I mean,
I apologize.
I assume you have a lot now that you're Archmage. I'm gonna like clumsily bow.
Oh, please, that is
Archmage.
unnecessary. But this is a surprise, but we did expect you sometime soon. We met the mother of Alexios, I believe.
Also, she made it fine.
Oh,
You guys
yes.
got it to the house?
Yes, her and her friend and the young lady that was with them.
We sent 3 people? What did we send? Cora, Alexios' mom, and...
Alexios's aunt.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Mildred.
Well, if you are here to stay, I can have one of my people bring some breakfast if you are hungry.
Oh. Okay, bet, because I wanted to talk to you anyway. They actually have very important things to do while we're in Delphi. So I'm just going to join you for breakfast, and they're going to be rude and just walk past.
Well, that is alright. I also extend my condolences for the loss of your friend.
Hey, inside check this. Is he talking about Ryujin?
Yeah, insight check.
Oh shit! Do I hear this?
21.
Yeah, he's not being quiet about it. He certainly is talking about Ryujin, but you don't feel like the condolences are genuine.
I'm using the helm.
Where are you going?
Yeah,
Are you taking the
gotta
others
get out
with
of
you?
there.
Yeah, I'm using it to go back to.
Don't split the party.
Go to the house.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well,
I'm going back to Dorax.
okay.
You're familiar with the house. Go back to the roof.
Just Misty
Yeah,
Step.
I'll go back to the roof. Yeah.
All right, so you're going to Sunbrow Manor.
Yep.
Go
Can I
ahead.
go ahead?
Man, what if
start-
they have spies? What if there's hidden?
This is your fault. This
Go
is your
ahead
fault.
and roll a D100 for me.
Okay.
As Rat Anura, can I just go ahead and start running out of the tower? Once they get out of the tower, turn back into Anura and go to the
Hold on,
manor?
there's lots of steps between that, so hold on.
Known for his keen eyes.
Gavin?
The fuck?
73.
73, yeah. Are you taking anyone with you?
Pick up Rat
Um,
Anura.
Rananura is in the door.
You're in the
doorway.
office.
Oh, that's right. I'm in the
I
office.
guess
Never mind.
I'll make eye contact with Alexios and Ilme.
He's invisible.
I can't see Ilme.
Oh, then I guess
Yeah.
I'll just make eye contact with Alexios and silently ask the question.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab his hand.
Okay, so Ilme, you see Alexios and Ryujin clasp hands, and you see the helm activate momentarily, and then they're gone.
Oh no.
What I have noticed, but they disappeared.
No, it doesn't make sound.
Because I just told him that all of us are in Delphi, and I'm the only person who popped up in his damn office.
As that's happening,
He also
So-
doesn't know who all's in the party now.
so Adagio, that's what he says to you. How do you?
Oh yeah,
how do you-
okay. I'm just gonna look down and I'm just gonna look back to the empty room and be like, yeah, his death was really something that messed with the party a lot. It's a
Of course.
tragic happening. Have you ever heard of a Rashaks? There
Rakshasa.
Rakshasa.
we go, that thing.
I have read of these creatures. Yes.
Apparently it's
He's
hunted.
playing coy.
Oh, well,
He
it
fucking
hunted
knows.
him.
Smart to mention that his friend killed Ryujin.
Well, it's too late now.
I am terribly sorry to hear this. It's quite upsetting. Rest assured, you are home now. You are safe, back in the city that loves you so. In fact, I know that you said that you have things to discuss with me. I would love to discuss some things with you. Will any of your friends be joining us?
Can I make a perception roll, I guess, to see these
Yeah, I
people
mean,
are
you
still
can
here?
look around and see who you see. Go and make a perception check.
It's like,
I'm guessing I heard this as a rat, right?
Yeah,
God
you're
damn
there.
it.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the wild shape so that he sees me, so Adagio's not alone, and
Sure.
12.
we can explain things from there.
Sure. So Adagio, you look around, and as Anura turns back into their self, you look, and the book room is completely empty.
Be like, yeah, it's just me and Adagio. We're the only two of the party who came back. Ryujin dying really did mess with a lot of things.
Oh, that is terribly upsetting. I'm sorry to hear that. That also puts a bit of a damper in my own plans.
Yeah, it's not that we're not like a party anymore per se, but because of what happened, not all of us wanted to come back to Delphi.
Of course. Well, please, sit. And he waves his hand and 2 chairs appear. Sit. I will call someone for food if you would like.
I'm gonna dip out. I need to go do some research. We haven't been anywhere near a library in a while,
Of course.
and I need to learn some more
surrounded by
about things.
books.
Well, my books are a bit specific in scope. If you have any questions on magic or the arcane, I can certainly help you. But if you have questions about other things, perhaps the library is where you should go.
library and the Bard College will be a little more help for this than you, unfortunately, but thank you for the offer.
Of course. And allow me, I have made some cosmetic changes to the tower since you were last here. And he opens a drawer in his desk, and you see there's like a stone tablet with a bunch of runes on it. And he just presses a finger to one of the runes, and you see it activate momentarily before he just closes the drawer again. He goes, you may leave now.
I'm gonna go ahead and look around real quick, see if I can see Ilme. Just kind of like look around and be like, I like the way things look. And move my shoulder towards the door and try and get Ilme to realize that I'm saying follow me out while you have a chance.
Ilme, what are you doing?
Well, I want to stay actually invisible.
Sure.
And while Keeneye and Adagio are eating, I want to try and stealthily sneak around his office as best I can. I don't want to move anything.
Sure.
I just kind of want to peek on his
Sure,
desk.
of course. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Anura, you open the door to his office, and you've been in this room before, back when it was Nadar's office, and you know that there's like a spiral staircase that extends all the way down to the ground. And you open it, and before you, instead of a spiral staircase, is a slide.
Nice.
Can I go down it yelling "wee"? Yes.
You spiral all the way down, all the way down, all the way down until you get to the door, which opens wide for you, and you actually get shoved like out of the tower just from momentum, and you almost like roll on the ground as the door closes behind you, and you see like as the door closes, some sort of like arcane emits, and you are in the whispers.
Can I just like yell loud enough with thaumaturgy that I hope he hears me and goes, "That was so fucking cool. I like the changes."
So,
Okay.
I assume, Anura, that you're making your way to Sunbrow Manor, or where are you heading?
I'm gonna go by the Temple of Artemis before I head
Sure.
by the manor.
Not a problem. So, let's stay with Adagio and Ome for this moment. So, he offers you a chair, and you said you would like food, yes?
Yes. Oh, yes, please. I can always eat.
He opens the
Made a
drawer
part.
and presses a different rune on the tablet, and another arcane jolt fires off, and then you see him motion in the air and go, yes, we would like some breakfast up here. We have guests at the Hands of Fate are back in town, at least partially. Sorry, they will be here momentarily. So,
I don't think you and I ever talked about your magic. Like, it's like every time you do something, I'm just like equally surprised by the world.
that is the effects that magic can have on some people, yes. But please, you had something you wanted to discuss.
I bluffed.
You didn't have anything to talk about?
Just wanted to talk to him. I didn't have like any particular questions for the man. I just thought it'd be cool to have him on our side.
I
You
don't think
kill
we're
him.
ever
More
going to
about
have him on our
God
side because
connection.
Ilme would
that I was
murder you
like,
first.
Okay, first of all, this man knows the most about like gods, God's blood, demigods. Like I assumed having him on our side would be like, hey, buddy, I need to ask you a question about XYZ. Are we cool?
I think Ilme would murder you first.
So, what do you say?
Oh, I'll be like, mine's just wishy-washy. Why don't we talk about yours first?
Certainly. Well, you know that you were busy, and I do not blame you. But we did prepare rituals for some of you that we had to get rid of when the time came, which is not a big deal. However, when your friend's mother appeared, we believed that you would probably not be far away, so we have begun the ritual process again, and we have about 25 or so days remaining until the rituals are ready, but the offer still stands, of course. If you or your friends are interested in talking one-on-one with your godly parent, we would still very much like to provide you with that opportunity. Of course, only you here is less than ideal, as we are preparing rituals for all of your friends right now, but nearly a month is quite a long time. Perhaps your friends could join us by the time the ritual truly starts.
Unfortunately, I don't speak for my friends. I mean, I will speak on your behalf, obviously. There's a lot of things we could obviously learn from the gods, and they seem to be pretty evasive when we need them the most. I think I don't know, I guess like to know more about this spell.
Of course. Well, it is an ancient spell that I partially helped to rediscover. It was only on an ancient scroll lost to time until I found it and was able to decipher it. It works in 2 parts. 3, really. There is the preparation for the month. We have to cover the floor with something sacred to your god, and then on the day we must sacrifice an animal to your god, specific to your god, and all of us who participate in the ritual, including you, would have to partake in the eating of that animal. Then, the actual spell is cast. When that happens, you are transported. Your consciousness is transported to wherever in the cosmos your god currently is. At that time, you have 5 minutes to talk, to discuss whatever you would like with your god. At the end of that 5-minute time, you have a choice to make. If you are willing, your god can then take over your body for 1 minute and talk to the rest of us through your body. After that time, the god would leave the body and you would be back to yourself. It is not required, but if we were to do this ritual for you, it would be our request that you take part in the second part of that transaction.
I mean, yeah, I guess you literally do all the work and get our foot through the door. Is there like,
Can I
I don't
insight
know,
check that?
Sure, insight check it.
Because I'm listening.
is there like a way the god could like block us from like communicating from them, or like, I don't know, like stop the connection midway through the conversation? Like what if like 2 minutes in, Poseidon just was like, fuck you, flips the table and dips?
I do not know, as this has not been recorded before, and I obviously have not been able to do it before. But to my knowledge, this is powerful, ancient magic. It is a type of magic that is not even legal in this land anymore. Hemocraft, blood magic. The most powerful kind of magic. I do not believe that a god would be able to sever the connection early.
Okay, so I got an 18.
18, you said? He hasn't said anything false, but you do get that, his request to have the gods speak through the demigods, like that second half of the spell, he's downplaying how much he wants that to happen. Like that is arguably more important to him than the demigods getting to talk to their parents. He wants to have an audience with the gods.
Okay.
Oh, well, I know what I would talk to my dad about if I like, got the 5 minutes. What would you want to know from Apollo?
Well, you must understand we have a list of questions, predominantly about the connections between gods and demigods. It is a bit theoretical, but you must understand I work for an organization. We are called the Eyes of Gaia. It is our belief in this organization that a war is coming. A second divine war. A war for the cosmos. and it is our duty to prepare for that war. We believe that while the divine war was fought by the gods here on Earth, this second war will be fought by us on behalf of the gods. Now, of course, with a mission statement like this, there is room for interpretation, and there is no clear timeline. So people in my organization have been working for generations to prepare the world for this upcoming war, and the war has not yet happened, of course. But because there is flexibility, and this organization spans the entire continent and beyond, it allows us to, for each of our members, to explore our own individual theories and our own individual preparation styles. My theory is that the warriors in this fight will be demigods. Not just mortals, but the bridge between mortals and gods. And so I have devoted my life's work to truly understanding what demigods are, cosmically, magically, and trying to find as many as I can. For when the war comes, and I'm sure that people before me have said this, but it feels like the war is coming. When that day comes, the soldiers will be ready.
And then I have a question for Keeneye. This question
Sure.
for Samuel is, did we tell Keeneye and the others what our quest was? Like, what had made Roxel so powerful?
I don't know if you guys said it specifically, but everyone in Delphi experienced that traumatic memory attack. And there are no records of any dragons ever being able to do that. So you think a smart guy like Keeneye has probably put two and two together.
And then my question for Keeneye would be if he knows what our quest is and like what we're trying to do, and then I'm going to insight check his answer.
Okay. Well, it is not hard to follow exactly what it is that you are doing. I confess that I am a bit smarter than average. You can insight check it. What'd you get?
Oh, I said a 15. Sorry.
Oh, you did? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Yeah. I was like, damn it, I got a 15. And then I was like, did I miss that?
We were both just like gently smiling to each other.
I was like looking at everybody, just like, what is happening?
Yeah, I mean, you get the sense he's being humble about it, but like, yeah, he knows what you guys are doing.
But these Izagaya people, you guys are like wanting to protect the world and fight for the gods? Question mark. Or do you have like your own agenda of like whose side you would be on?
It is a bit of both. We are certainly on the side of the gods, but there are members of the organization who believe that if we are the ones who successfully lead this war, then we will be rewarded in what follows.
To do with Apollo's first prophecy?
Ah, so you know this prophecy too.
True. Perhaps not the exact wording, which I do hope to one day ask my father.
Well, that is one of the questions that I would ask him as well. But yes, I was born and raised here in Delphi, so I am very familiar with this story of the Oracle's first prophecy. So yes, I do believe that the prophecy and the upcoming war are talking about the same incident.
What about the like incidentals, like Hera and Hades? Even though I side check, not to him, meta child race.
Well,
and Artemis, who never has children, looks around
yes.
the room.
There is a reason that it is only I in the organization who believes this theory and not the entire organization. But there is already a demigod of Hera who
Yes?
currently serves as her champion, yes. She is called the One and Only due to her cleverness in surviving this long. So there is at least one. I have heard rumor of potentially some child of Hades running around. But you are right. The child of Artemis is a conundrum.
I met the child of Hades. He's real. And probably dead. I mean, I wouldn't
Where is
count
he?
on him, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Why do you say this?
Just kind of dragged into the underworld by the person who unlinked. Links.
Well,
Things just kind of spill out of my mouth. I'm not gonna lie.
that is quite interesting. Alright, so we at least know that one exists. I would not be surprised if there is some child of Artemis somewhere.
What does that mean?
I do not know. It is why I would have many questions for your father.
What if, like my mother? My mother runs an orphanage and she loves and cares for the children. Would child technically be the title?
I know not, but I do know that the Oracle is famous for flowery language, puzzles, and prophecy.
Did she get buried here in Delphi? I asked Sammy.
She got burned, but yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
There's no speaking to the dead with that one.
No.
Imagine trying to speak to the Oracle while she was dead.
That'd be nuts.
Yo, girl, give me the answer. I am as vague as I was in life as I am in death. Thank you. Damn it.
But
Again.
listen, now that you have some context, perhaps you will be able to convince your friends to participate in the ritual.
I think.
Ilme is a bit of an issue, I am aware. But
Wild child.
even Ilme has questions about her parentage. What better way to find answers than to talk to a father?
I mean, if we pray hard enough, through prayer, anything is possible.
Perhaps.
Talking to a cleric.
You are talking to a wizard.
You know what? I don't see a pointy hat.
Minor illusions, a hat.
Okay, listen, you.
Sorcerers are just wizards without pointy hats.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess I could talk to them about it. I mean, I myself am interested in the ritual itself. Probably more details, given the fact that this is the biggest spell I've ever met. Where did you find the spell? Where did you meet this? Where did you?
Some of this is a bit classified for the moment. There are sensitive parties involved.
Think of all the information we could trade.
I will tell you
You'd
this.
love to know all of it. Oh my god! Oh my god!
What?
We opened the Godstone.
You did?
We
That is
It was
quite a
so
feat.
cool, and I can't wait to do the others.
Do you have several?
I'm starting a collection.
Shut the fuck up!
Nervous.
Keneye's like sweating.
110%. I'm just going to like sew Adagio's mouth shut after this. We're done.
You guys
I
remember
want
that
to
scene in
say-
The Matrix?
Yeah, Ilme, what are you doing this whole time?
Remember that scene in The Matrix when Neo's
I
mouth
wanted
gets
to
like,
inspect. I wanted to inspect his desk, look what he has on there, because I don't want to open any drawers and stuff like that, because I don't want him noticing me.
Sure.
I want to look at like the walls. Does he have bookshelves in his office too?
Yeah, there aren't as many. You get the sense that he's more conscious of the space that's being used. But there are some bookshelves here. It's the ones here are mostly filled with scrolls, and the ones in the other room are mostly filled with books.
Okay. Well, I'm just want to look on his desk if there's anything of note on there. Then I want to look at his bookshelves, kind of look at all the scrolls, trying to see if maybe there's like a hidden, like a letter somewhere that he hid inside with the other scrolls.
Sure.
So
first of all, go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage to start this off.
okay, that shall be 28.
28. Hold on, I'm loading his character sheet right now to accurately roll against you.
Right. Imagine actively being able to beat a 28. God damn.
Okay.
And this is why we don't fuck with Keeneye.
Okay. He doesn't notice you, so you can go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh, I got a nat 20.
All right. So, you notice a couple different things. First of all, you don't see anything out on his desk that you find particularly juicy. You get the sense that he's smart enough to, if he has anything suspicious, it's tucked away somewhere. Looking at the scrolls, you do see that they are organized in a particular way, and you realize these are not just scrolls. These are not just like records of things. Every single one of the scrolls here is a spell scroll.
Ooh. So tempting to take one. Is there a scroll of like sending?
Probably. I mean, you see they're organized. There's like an entire shelf for each level of spell. So you can go to like the 3rd level shelf and try, but again, like these are all rolled up scrolls. You can't really tell what's inside them until you open it.
Wait, wasn't it? Can anyone use a scroll then? I thought it was only magic people could use scrolls.
It's the level of difficulty changes depending on if you could normally cast that spell, if you could normally cast it but it's too high level for you, if you couldn't cast it, if you're a different type of caster, yada yada yada.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be almost impossible for me to use it, but you never know. So, is the bookshelves like the scroll behind Keeneye, where he's not looking directly?
Technically, yes.
Technically, that probably
Yep.
means he could probably still. Okay. So with that 20, would I have been able to notice if there was like a hidden compartment on his desk somewhere?
Yes. You would be able to tell that you don't think that there's any hidden compartments on the desk itself, but the physical size of the drawers versus what it looked like when he opened that one drawer, there's probably some weird arcane shit happening with the drawers, because it looked like that drawer that he pulled out was way too big compared to what it looks like on the outside.
Okay.
Is it a TARDIS drawer?
It's definitely a TARDIS drawer.
Nice. Is it blue? Canonically, can it be blue?
Canonically, no.
So, speaking of Doctor Who things, just to reiterate how much of a nerd I am, I found a copy of music for Valediction, which is what plays when tin regenerates, with organic chemistry drawn on the back of it. So,
Nerd.
David Tennant was the best Doctor. I'll have no other answers.
David Tennant
Okay.
is so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just grab, since I can't really see any of the 3rd level spell scrolls and what they are.
Uh-huh.
I just want to grab a top one to where I don't actually like shuffle a whole bunch of papers. Just
Okay,
slightly
and
just
you're grabbing one from the 3rd level shelf?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Do I get advantage because he couldn't see me or not?
No. You have advantage on stealth because you're hidden.
Okay. On another nat 20.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking. That makes it a 33.
Oh my god.
You're a piece of poop, I'll tell you that.
It was
All right,
the same guy too.
The good news
We're
is,
getting so
because of
excited.
how invisibility works, as soon as you grab a scroll, it disappears along with you. So even if you made a little bit of a rustle, even if Keeneye were to look, there'd be nothing there. And so you just very carefully just slide it into your pouch to look at later.
Yep. Okay, now I'm just gonna wait for him to let Adagio and follow him out.
Cool. Adagio, anything else you'd like to say to Keeneye?
This dude is my new older brother. I'm gonna tell him everything. Okay, so we went to the Blood Shore. We met up with Trepo. We sailed on the Tremocrates. We fought in a Colosseum. Some bitches died like twice. I got to see an old temple that doesn't exist anymore. And now we're on a quest for other things. But I did have a question for you. And I've dubbed them Demigods because it's just what the group likes to call them. So we met Orpheus way before everything else. Do you know anything about godly children who aren't godly children? Like demigods who are
Minor
demigods?
gods.
I
Lesser
have not
importance? I'm just kidding.
coined a phrase, but semigod might actually be quite an apt expression. Yes,
Yeah.
I do know of these celestially touched creatures.
Have you met Orpheus?
I have not had the pleasure, no.
This man just spilled the beans for everything.
Literally, Adagio's never allowed anywhere by himself again.
By myself. I'm being supervised.
Adagio's losing his vocal cords
They're
forever.
gone.
Those.
They're
I've been
mine.
talking this-
You're never singing again.
That's with the lyre. What if I like replace my vocal cords with like the lyre strings? I'm like, ding, ding,
That's not
Okay.
how that
God.
works.
ding.
That's not how that works.
But, like,
Did
what
you
do they
have
like?
a question about these semigods? Or
Why aren't they like full demigods? Like, what are their weird abilities and ties to their gods?
well, only the 14 Olympian gods and the 13 Olympian gods in Hades can create full-blooded demigod children simply because they are the most powerful of the gods. The gods' power is connected directly to the belief in them. They have a sort of base level power, and they get a certain level of power based on what it is that they oversee, and then the majority of their power comes from people praying to them and believing in them. When it comes to minor gods, either they oversee a very small or specific endeavor, or they have a very small number of people who devote their lives to them. As such, they certainly have power, but they do not have the ability to make full-blooded demigod children. As such, these children can vary in their augmentations. Some can be extremely subtle, so much so that people can go their entire lives without even realizing. Some are a bit more apparent, like Orpheus, for instance, with his unworldly singing voice. That is directly from his mother, the Muse. And there are some that manifest more in specific abilities, magic, the ability to cast and manipulate spells, that sort of thing. It is hard to make any rule, per se, because each god is different and each child is different. But I have seen a range in the books that I've read of abilities of this sort.
I have that book. Or at least
I'm-
read through it while I'm in Delphi.
Are you looking for something in particular?
The meeting Orpheus, like it's so interesting, isn't it? Like how the celestial blood can interact with the life of a mortal and like completely change anything and everything. And it's like like, okay, the muses aren't the gods, but they can still touch people like that. And like, what other celestial beings are out there like that can just like manipulate and change the fate of a person just by a single drop of celestial blood, just because of a sporadic moment of like love?
Well, there are many gods on Olympus. There are gods for every river and every hill. There are gods for non-humanoid creatures. There are gods for giants and gods for kobolds and gods for anything. There are a great many creatures that we know very little about. There is, I believe, some god in the sea that is worshipped by some sort of fish people that is in the shape of a shark and was born from a drop of sperm from some primordial being getting dropped in the ocean. Like, there is just so much.
So, out of character,
Yeah.
I
Whoa.
think I know what you're talking about there. Because, listen, man, when I made my first character, it was 3.5, and I was doing a lot of research with like 3.5 books, like what god they would follow, where they're from, all this, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? Like, okay, is that like an actual? Because that sounds like something really similar to like what I had read about.
There are. Just to get real inside baseball for a second, when I was making the setting, there were a few types of monsters that like specifically worship specific gods, and so I found or created
Syllovyn?
Yeah, Sahugans, yeah.
Sahugans.
So I found or created Greek equivalents to fill those roles.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but yes, so like traditionally Sahugans worship a shark goddess of blood, and so I just made my own shark goddess of blood.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have like 3 questions, and I swear I'll be gone. Limit myself to these 3 damn questions, and we're leaving.
Yeah.
The first one has to be about Caro, whose name I can now pronounce correctly because I know it. And then Caro, like Archpriest Caro now.
He's not
I asked
nearly
Keeneye.
that
Okay.
powerful. He's on his way,
yeah, that's
but
right.
he is still a sunman, even though he is now on the council.
So who is? Oh, so we don't have like an Archpriest because no one fits the role.
Correct.
So yeah. Is there any word on what's happened to the Hades clerics?
They are still powerless, last I heard.
I don't remember my 3rd question.
God, Isaac.
It was about the Isaac guy, huh?
If only we could find your Hades demigod friend, perhaps we could ask Hades what is going on.
Oh my god. I've never tried sending to him.
He's not on the same plane of existence as us. I don't
Sending
think.
doesn't
sending
matter. That doesn't matter for
Oh,
sending.
that's right. Sending doesn't matter for the planes.
Oh my god, Keeneye, you're a genius. I'm gonna look away.
I have been
Actually,
told this before.
Am I fucking doing this?
Maybe not in front of Keeneye.
Why not? I mean,
You
okay,
are
well,
never
you're not there.
allowed.
You're not there to stop me from my bad choices.
You were
I
never
guess.
allowed by yourself again.
Remember, it's me, Adagio. Are you like alive?
Is that what you cast?
I don't think I have any more like words, but I'm doing good.
You have like 25 words. I don't think that was 25.
I'll
But
find
that's
you
okay.
I'll find you if I can.
So you cast the spell. And it almost connects with something. You could feel the arcane energy, this divine spell, getting sent to its target. You could see Lathos's face in your mind. And just before it reaches, it's gone.
Wait a minute. Wait a damn.
What happened?
I don't know. Something stopped him. Something stopped it from going through at last second.
Well, if you said that he was taken to the underworld, is that right?
And I think so. I just know he was dragged away from us. The person
perhaps-
said that they were taking him to his father, so...
Perhaps what stopped your spell is the same thing that is stopping the clerics from being able to cast their spells.
There's a like a physical entrance in our world, right?
It is believed there is, yes.
For Styx?
The river Styx is down there.
How to get there?
There are some who believe that the entrance is one way, some that believe the entrance is another. You would have to ask someone who has been there to get a real answer.
Okay, my last question. This is the question that I forgot about earlier. Was Eyes of Gaia. I guess they don't really have so many of them. I guess they don't have I don't know. What if I want to get in contact? Okay, what if I want to get in contact with other members of the Eyes of Gaia and talk to them about blah blah blah, or become a member? I don't freaking know. Can I be your apprentice?
That is
Can
something
teach you the things about
something that must be earned.
Everyone in the
time.
group is just
But I will tell you this: your excitement is encouraging. If we do this ritual with your father, and you prove yourself useful, then afterwards, it would be my honor to have you as my apprentice.
Yo, imagine how strong I'd be. Okay, well, I gotta go. I got places to be.
But if you are hoping to be an apprentice, encourage your friends to do the ritual. All of them.
Try. All of them. Oh, heard all of them. No, I'm not gonna say. Not gonna say what I was about to say.
Also, your friend Anura, although I have no interest in them in terms of the ritual, they are more than allowed to participate in the ritual if they would like to feel included.
Killing animals is exactly what they want to do.
Sacrifice is not killing.
And that's not hunting. That's not fun. Okay, well, Mr. Keeneye, Mr. Uncle Sir. I imagine this dude is Phaeton's brother now. See you around.
Of course.
Finger guns. Pew pew.
He opens a drawer and presses the rune again, and you feel another arcane surge as the door opens, and you see a slide heading down.
So, we
Follow behind.
Both of you, one of you invisibly, tumble out of the tower as the door seals behind you, and you are once again in the whispers of Delphi. And I think that's where we'll take a break. We'll take a break. Take a break.
Vocal cords.
Okay.
We're gonna take a break, and then we'll come back
That's
to
about
Ryujin and
about-
Alexios, and then we'll go to Anura, and then we'll go to Adagio and We're back in Delphi, back where it all began. Woohoo!
We're gonna be here for another 3
Isaac,
months.
what the fuck?
Yes,
Supposed to
over
sound
break,
we
everyone
met
yell at
another
Isaac.
couple Demigods.
Yes!
How is this supposed to be I met 4 other demigods.
Oh my
We're also
god.
very close to just going
We
I
have to
think
kill
I know who
Keeneye
the
now.
child of
There's
Artemis is.
Listen, Keeneye
He knows
has
too
to
much.
die. He knows too much.
Well, I mean,
He
if
has
you
to
May won't
die.
stop you.
If you can kill a level whatever the heck he is, go for it, I guess. I just want his cool things.
Fuck it, I'll try and kill him. I will die on the year anniversary of Anora's first death.
Listen, he can't take all of us, right?
Guess
Does
we'll
he
find
have,
out.
Look, this game
Um,
is game. He
we're
might be
gonna-
able to take all of us.
We're gonna go to break, but we will be back so soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Bye. And we are back. thanks for sticking with us. Let's hop right back into the story. So, as that entire conversation was happening in the Tower of the Archmage, Ryujin and Alexios, you guys bamfed back to Sunbrow Manor, your home here in Delphi. Where did you like to? Where were you aiming for, Ryujin?
The roof.
The roof. Okay. So you appear directly in the middle of the roof. Successfully, uninterestingly, you have landed.
So Keeneye doesn't know I'm dead.
Keeneye
doesn't know that I'm
believes you're
alive.
dead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just turn to Alexios and pull out every single gate stone out of my pocket. So I should probably do something with these, huh?
Yeah. What? Why'd you take them?
Because Keeneye's a piece of shit. He doesn't need these. Odella should have them. Odella's trustworthy, and we like Odella. If we ever gatestone back, I don't trust Keeneye. I don't want us to have to gatestone back into Keeneye's office. Like he's a scumbag, honestly. Like I don't like Keeneye. No.
Okay. All right. That seemed thought out. So
Listen,
we'll take
it
you
was
to
just-
Odella?
I want to, but do you think he took them from Odella, or do you think Odella gave them to him? It's like Odella has to know that he's kind of sketchy, right?
I mean, he is part of the council, so I'd assume that he has a reason to have these.
Yeah, but okay.
I mean, if you want to give them to Odella, we'll give them to Odella. If they end up back in Keeneye's hands, then that's what happens. It's no biggie, right?
Okay.
All right.
So I don't think I should be going out looking like myself if Keeneye, and most likely his underlings, and probably other people, because you'd think Keeneye would be well informed, if they think I'm dead, I mean, that could potentially be an advantage, right? So maybe I should, like, disguise myself and try to keep a low profile.
I'd assume that a person your height and like a fifth person traveling with us would be pretty obvious.
Yeah, but I
Interesting.
I have a disguise kit. You know, I could change my clothes. I have a change of clothes. You know what's funny? I've actually had a change of clothes since session 1.
Give you a fake nose, a fake
I totally forgot about
mustache.
it. I looked at my inventory like 3 days ago, and I saw 2 sets of clothes. And I was like, oh my god, I planned for this from day 1.
I mean, sure, whatever floats your boat. I'm pretty sure somebody has magic that can change your face.
What, like a polymorph?
I think that changes you into an animal
Creature?
or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alter self is
self,
probably the easier way to do that.
disguise self. You know,
Gotcha.
went straight for polymorph. That's interesting.
I don't know, man. I'm not well versed in this subject. I have a
You're a
disguise kit,
warlock.
but
Okay.
I could shoot
Yeah,
energy out of my
spell
hand. What do you want from me?
So,
What do you-
are you gonna give the stones to Odella? Are we gonna give them back to Keeneye?
I want to try Odella first, I think.
Fair,
Oh.
as long as it's not like Pythonus or somebody.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I mean, Pythonus seems like an okay person, but not very always there, or maybe not the most responsible. You know? I mean, I'm not very responsible either, but coming from someone who's irresponsible, Python probably isn't the best choice.
Speaking of what, you want me to hold on to the stones?
I mean, I'm not gonna do anything with them. I just assumed we were gonna take care of that soon.
No, I just thought it was a plausible question. You just said that you're responsible.
Well, okay, you know what? You know what I mean. I'm trying more so now, after dying and being told I was fucking dumb by a god. So I'm trying more now to be smart about things.
And you read a book, so bully for
And I
you.
read a book. First time ever. Never read before. Didn't know I
Do
could.
you wanna wait for the others, or I wonder if my mom's here.
Should we just figure out what we're gonna do after we look through the house, see who's here?
Oh, you know what we should do? We should sneak around and see if anybody catches us. We are paying for security.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, sure. I mean, you got a point. If they don't find us, then we should probably correct that. I'm not very sneaky.
I'll go first.
All right, so you're just gonna try to stealthily walk downstairs and see if you can avoid your staff.
Yeah, sneak up on people.
Okay.
Tap them on the shoulder.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Both of us?
Are you going together?
We're doing it one at a time. We'll go one at a time.
Skills. I'm gonna do this because 13.
13 stealth? Okay. You
Yeah.
begin to make your way down onto the second story of Sunbrown Manor, where most of your bedrooms are. You walk into the hallway, and you do hear the sound of people downstairs, probably in the eating area or something like that. No one seems to be actively up here.
I'm gonna wave Ryujin down. Come on.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta roll now.
Yeah, stealth check.
Please.
Hey, that's pretty good. I don't think I have anything for stealth. Maybe like +1 or minus. I don't know. Hold on. +2. Dirty 20.
Okay. So, you, on your tiptoes, just slide down these stairs until you are next to Alexios, back in the familiar, comforting hallway of Sunbrown Manor. You don't see anyone,
All right, I'm
but you
gonna
hear him.
go.
Okay.
Canonically, the Pink Panther theme music is playing this whole time.
For sure, 100%. Alexios, you're gonna try to go downstairs?
Yep.
Go ahead and make another stealth check for me.
Come on. Ooh, natural 20.
Okay.
23.
So, Alexios, you walk down the stairs once more to the ground level, and you know that leads you to sort of like a windy-ish hallway. So you begin to make your way through, but you stop because you do hear what sounds like Keth around the corner, talking to someone who isn't responding, so you can't tell who he's talking to.
Can I peek around the corner, see, like, you know?
Yeah, you peek around.
See what I can see.
Yeah, you see, they're sort of like, they're not really at attention right now. They're sort of leaning up against the wall talking, but it looks like Keth is talking to Jaman, the boy who you hired him and his grandfather.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about them.
Do I have anything else? Oh, yeah. I am gonna cast Sky Self.
Okay.
And I am going to try and look like why can't I remember his name? Nadar.
Okay, so you take on the form
Oh,
of this
no.
elegant black dragonborn.
Would have been funny if you chose Phaeton. What?
That would have been messed up.
True. How is this not though?
Okay, are you gonna walk around the corner, Alexius?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop out from behind the corner, and say, "Ah, I'm back!"
Keth goes, move! And he pushes Jamon out of the way and reaches his hand out. I need you to, oh, it's not even, there's not even a save for this.
Nadar's back, alright.
So out of his hand shoots these thick spidery webs, and they cling to the walls and like you're getting webbed by Spider-Man. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
I cannot. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna +5 that and make it a 16.
You fuck. His save is a 15. So you feel these webs gathering around you, and you manage to just pull yourself out before they completely seize behind you, and you now have this wall of spider web right behind you. But you are now in the hallway with Keth.
But I am not webbed up.
You are not webbed up.
All right. So, how much do you think I should dock your guys' pay for me getting even this close? I'm gonna drop the Nadar.
Keth goes, fucking shit. Don't scare me like that. Fucking, I'm gonna have to change my pants.
Change my trousers.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're pretty thorough when we kill stuff. It generally doesn't come back.
Welcome back. I suppose, we have been waiting for your return, and I am certainly glad that you are not a dragon.
You've all been paid?
By the way, your mother's, great. She's great. She's a bit much, if I'm to be honest.
Is she living here?
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah.
did
Yeah, she's here. I think she's, eating some lunch right now or something.
Oh, but she said she's gonna stay here. She's not gonna get her own place.
I haven't really asked, to be honest. I think at the very least she was planning on waiting here until you guys came back.
Okay.
But now that you
all
are
been
back,
taken care of?
I'll let Amber know, because we were gonna make a whole feast for you all as a welcome back.
Oh, that actually sounds great.
Yeah.
Ryujin.
And just try to like hear some spider web and walk through.
Unfortunately, you don't have your trident anymore, so you just pull out your blade and just start hacking away. He's like, oh, sorry. And he waves his hand and the webs just sizzle into nothing.
I need you to gather all the staff.
Alright, yeah. You wanna...
Don't even say why. Just get everyone up here right now.
Alright,
Please.
not a problem.
Thank you.
And he just runs off into the other room. It takes a few minutes, but eventually he is able to gather everyone in the dining room. As you guys walk in, you do see Roxanne, Alexia's mother, as well as Baylin. They are just sitting there eating something out of a bowl, and they look a bit surprised at everyone just rushing into this room.
So when everyone's in there, I'll just dress. So many people. I'm not gonna lie to you all. All right, I died. So there's a lot of people that think I'm still dead. I would like to keep it that way.
Amber just raises her hand. Why?
Temporary advantage.
Against who?
Don't worry about it.
Wait. You should probably tell them that Amber's like really our head of security.
Okay. Do we have anyone that came from Keeneye?
No, you didn't hire any of those
no.
people.
Oh, right. Okay. All right, everyone, come with me, and we'll go to the room with the circle of truth.
Okay, so you walk into what I guess is like your council chamber, and you see the table is still set up. The chair's sort of askew right now, and you see there's a ladder on one end of the table, and everyone's right. Yeah, I'm still working on it, but it is in progress.
Okay. Is the axe still up there?
Yeah.
Did we ever do something with it? Was it still there?
I think so, right?
Because Adagio can remove curses, so like, if someone wanted to use it. Anyway.
Wouldn't it be a regular axe?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Never mind. Okay. All right. So, I'll just have everyone gather around the table for dramatic effect. Listen, y'all. Keeneye is sketchy and dangerous, and we don't know his plans or like his true intentions, I guess. We know he's done some really bad things, and kind of we're sus about him, and then some stuff that might be coming up. So basically, Keeneye thinks that I'm dead. I'd like to keep it that way. And I'm just gonna look around, make eye contact, insight, like everyone. I don't know.
You can. Roxanne also raises her hand. She goes, "Oh, that might be a bit of a problem."
Roxanne, hold on.
Alexios' mom.
Oh, right. What's up?
Well, when we came here, we appeared in his office or secondary office or something of that nature.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
as he did not know who we were, he asked us a few questions, understandably so, and so we told them the story of who we were and why we were there. And he interviewed us all individually, so I don't know what Balin or Cora told, but I did say that I was rescued by my son and his friends, and I remember him asking for how many of you there were, and I said I wasn't sure as I can't see, but I said I thought there were 5 of you.
That son of a bitch.
I'm terribly sorry. I didn't realize that was privileged information.
Well, this changes things. Hold on, let me just.
He was probably just taunting you to let you know that somebody from his group hurt you.
What?
Okay, listen. In more or less words, what Ryujin is trying to say is we've made some powerful enemies. And one of those being a group, a secret society called the Eyes of Gaia. We're not entirely sure who they all include or what they do. It's just that they know more than what they should. And Keeneye is part of that group. And another part of that group happens to want to kill Ryujin, which may extend to the rest of us now.
So
he's
I'm
a
going to go ahead and
Rakshas.
apologize. I am sorry. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry.
It's to be
Alexio,
fair.
this is
I
why you need
forgot
to
my mom
communicate.
was in the room.
To be fair, we probably should have given you a more detailed head up before we sent you through, but we didn't know that you'd go to Keeneye's office. We didn't know that he had the rest of the gate stones. Well, he doesn't anymore. I'm gonna shut up. Anyway, can I still inside
Yeah,
check
of course,
everyone?
of
Just
course.
like, I don't know. All right, we're gonna use the screw it. All or nothing. I'm using the die that I've been rehabilitating for a week. Well, like 2 weeks actually. Okay. Come on. Inside, right?
Yeah.
On a brighter note,
15.
it does
15. You look around at your staff. None of them seem to have any sort of surprising reactions. You remember when Adagio was casting Sending, they had heard that you were dead, and Adagio had told them that you were alive, but to keep that to themselves. And so you get the sense that at least some of them sort of assumed that something like this was going on. So they seem a bit scared, but not surprised.
Listen, everyone, I'm sorry that you're all caught up in this. What's happened, and to be quite honest, I'm not sure where it's gonna lead. Just keep up the good work, keep doing what you're doing, and knowing that we have a safe haven here is a large comfort and a lot of help when we need to send people back, or but I just wanted you all to know that you're appreciated and you mean a lot to us.
And more importantly, Amber, do you feel understaffed in any way?
Oh no, this place isn't terribly large. I think between all of us, we can handle it.
Do you feel the need for any improvements?
We might just need to up our training a bit, but other than that, I think we'll be okay.
I know how to make cannons.
What?
I know how to make cannons.
I don't know what those are.
What's that?
Oh my god. You are gonna feel like you've been under a rock. You haven't heard of cannons?
I don't think so. What is that?
So
Alcheminos, fall, metal, gunpowder.
I don't. Okay.
It's a big
A
metal
larger version
tube.
of this.
It's a big metal tube. Put gunpowder and a fuse, a cannonball. You light it. It goes boom. Cannonball gets shot out at Mach 5.
What's a Mach?
It's a really fast bird.
Yeah. A bit more that I do understand. The spell that you've been wanting me to cast every day. I've been doing it, and I think you might like how I've been doing it. I figure if it's on the ground, people might notice it, but people don't often look up. So, and you see above the ladder, you see arcane runes on the ceiling of the room. She goes, if you just get the person that you want in the truth area to sit in that chair, they won't even realize that they're in it.
That's really smart.
That's why you
That's
pay me the big
insane.
bucks.
Do you need anything? A weapon, some armor, anything?
We don't need anything like that, but Regin, the guy came and made your little pool, but you said you needed salt water, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's still looking for some. So right now there's just an empty pool in the room.
So if I use create water, does that...
How much water can you create? How much salt water can you create?
That's quite a bit, I think. Let me just...
500 gallons.
30 gallons. 30 gallons of water.
So it says...
It should be
So with
30
create
gallons.
water, you create up to
30 gallons.
10 gallons.
Oh,
Okay.
But when you use a spell slot of second level or higher, you create an additional 10 gallons of water for each level above first.
So
So
you'd
at
be able
second
to do
level-
70 gallons? But you're casting
Yeah.
at 6th level, right? Or 5th level?
Fifth.
5th level. So, I mean, it may take a couple castings of it, but you can fill it up.
I'll start with one, yeah.
Sure.
I won't do it right now, but like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I go out there.
All right. Anything else, guys?
So I need to go to a library. I've only been there once, and it wasn't very helpful at the time. Do you think I should disguise myself? Because if Keeneye's not stupid. He has to know that I'm okay. Right? I mean, if
Do you want me to cast Disguise Self on you? I mean, even at the very worst, even if he knows you're alive, at least you're just not walking around the city. So I doubt he's going to do anything, but if it makes you feel better...
Well, I'm not
whatever
really
you want.
afraid of him doing something. It's more that... I don't know. No, it's fine. I'll just I'll just have my hood up. Wait, no, I don't have a hood anymore. Son of a bitch. Okay. I mean, if it's not a whole lot of trouble, if you could, that'd be cool. If not, then it's okay. I'll just go there like I am now.
Yeah, I'll cast Disguise Self on Region.
All right. What are you gonna make him look like?
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna make him look like strange cross between him and Triea.
Okay.
Like, if Ryujin was to try and put on a really bad Triea suit, or was to go to like a Halloween party as Triea, boom.
Okay.
I'm so conflicted.
So.
Okay, so I'm not really good at casting. And I was just thinking about Triea.
Yeah, and it's very apparent. So, like, it does seem like you get most of Triea in there, but, like, the hair is dark black, like Ryujin's hair. And she's still wearing an eye patch, but it looks basically like Triea.
With Disguise Self, does the Radiant brand stay?
Yes.
Damn. Okay.
I think you look nice.
Instead of an eye patch, can I go and get some like bandage, like some bandages, and just like wrap my head, like make it look like injured, like
Sure,
I'm injured?
Yeah, I'll say you can do that.
Okay.
Not a problem. With your disguise kit, you can do that. No, not a problem.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna head to the library and visit my father's temple, and then I'll come back. That's all I have to do.
Okay. I will say, just knowing the layout of Delphi, it may be easier for you to go to the temple first,
Okay, yeah, I'll do that then.
Anura, you make your way back through the city, out of the whispers, the familiar path back to the High Noon District, back to where all these temples are laid out, and you walk into the very familiar Wild Boar Temple, and you can feel the grass underneath your feet as you walk through that door, and the trees creating a natural canopy, and the small altar. And looks like there's a couple priestesses walking around, but otherwise it looks fairly calm. What would you like to do?
I want to go up to just like a spot where there's nobody at, I guess,
Sure.
and kind of sit and meditate for a while with the statue out. And I just want to sit there and be like, I don't know if I'm going to find anything out in Syllovyn, but any idea that I'm going in the correct direction would be nice. I mean, I'm not likely to get it. I know there's no blood connection like the rest of the party has to their godly parents, so there's no guarantee that you'll even hear this, but just an idea that I'm going in the right direction would be nice.
Are you casting any particular spell?
No, I don't have divinations prepared this time.
Okay. So you speak these words into the world, and you just hear the light rustling of these leaves.
They just started rustling now, or had they been rustling before?
It's a gentle sort of constant rustling.
Okay, so nothing different.
Doesn't seem that way.
Okay. Yeah, that's about what I expected, but it was worth a shot.
Okay.
I want to take out underbrush for a second and just kind of like study underbrush in the temple. Play with
And
like the shadows.
It's interesting. You pull out underbrush, and like all of the priestesses in this room all sort of like just stop talking, and it's almost as if their energies are just drawn to this weapon.
And just kind of look around and be like, "Hey, what's up? Sorry."
You see the familiar elven woman, Huntress Seneveth, just come and kneel down beside you. It's good to see you again, Anura.
It's good to see you too. I didn't know when I'd be back.
Are you using that wisely?
I'm trying my best. I don't know if she'd be happy with what I'm doing yet, but I'm looking for answers to see if she would be.
If you are keeping her in your heart, I'm sure she is happy.
Debatable.
Have no doubt, friend. I have none.
Thank you.
Stay here as long as you would like.
Can I when she started to come over, can I have tried to move the statue that I had out of the way so that she didn't see it, so I didn't have to answer questions about it?
I mean, no, because you didn't say it in the moment. But
Oh,
she clocks it and doesn't say anything about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just making sure. Okay, yeah. I'll just sit for a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna try and head over to the library.
Okay. Ryujin, you head into the High Tide Temple, one of your favorites, with this pool in the center that you know goes extremely deep. What would you like to do?
Is there a priest? The seaman?
Yes, you know Seaman Shaggybeard, the dwarf who's in charge of this temple. You see him. It looks like he's cleaning some scum off the surface of the water right now.
I see. Yeah, I'll just I'll just walk into the water and just submerge myself and
You feel the salt water hit your lungs, and you take a deep breath as it fills you, and you feel the water around your ears just close out the outside world.
look, I'm trying. You know, I have a lot of questions still, a lot of things that I need to do. I want to figure out what happened to my mom, how you're connected, what went wrong. I need to figure out what the hell is going on with me, the Tromocrates, Nepeot. I know gods don't know everything, but our last encounter wasn't great, and I understand why. Look, I know I'm not the smartest guy, and I'm trying harder now, I really am. But shit, man, I just need guidance sometimes. A nudge in the right direction. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what else to say.
Okay, that's okay.
Like,
If you're done, you can roll a 100.
Come on. Okay.
32.
What's your target right now?
30. Damn.
Bummer.
So fucking close.
Especially because it's actually 31 right now because you're underwater.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think you get an extra
Come
one
on,
if you're underwater.
round down for me, Sammy.
No.
It's just one. It's one.
So,
Wait, I have the Godstone. Doesn't that help?
we're gonna find out if it helps. 1 to 10, it doesn't help. 11 to 20, it does.
Hold on. Just wait 1 second. Just wait 1 second.
Hmm.
There you go,
Okay,
Sammy.
fine, you piece of shit. It was the same roll both times.
Fuck.
And it was a 9 both times.
I was saying that. I said it's a 9 like 3 times.
So, you push these thoughts into the water and into the cosmos and up to Olympus. And you don't know if he's still mad at you, like the last time, or if he's just far, far away. But you get no response.
Okay. Well, I don't know, like... Okay. I'll toss, or I'll go up and I'll grab Seaman Shaggybeard's hand, and I'll take out 10 gold. I'll put it in his hand,
Oh.
and I'll walk away. I'll leave. Say nothing. I'll say nothing.
Thank you, weird lady. Would anyone else like to go to their temples? Adagio? Okay. Adagio, you head to the largest temple in this city,
What's?
your favorite Sun Center temple. And
I've
you
only seen like
see-
one.
What do you mean?
I've only seen like one sun temple.
Oh, one sun temple. Yes, that's true. That's true. But you've seen lots of other temples.
You're right.
And you see currently like cleaning, like scrubbing at one of the benches. the gnomish form of Sunman Kara.
You know, everything about Carl went over my head. I thought this man was human.
No, he's a gnome.
You did not know anything about him before.
And yet he
this
loved
last
him all the
week.
same.
I loved him all the same.
You knew
Nobody
nothing
knows.
Even I
about
knew
Kara
he
until
wasn't
this
wrong.
last week.
I'm gonna lean over the bench and be like, I think you missed a spot right there.
Adagio!
Carl!
And he just,
and I'm
he
gonna
just
hug him.
hugs you, yeah.
Bear hug.
It's so good to see you.
Yes.
I can't thank you enough for what you and your friends have done for me.
Oh, please, you're innocent. Anyone would have done the same.
I appreciate it. It's so good to have you back in the city.
Oh my god, you're telling me. Poof. I miss this place.
Oh, that reminds me. The Blackhand Twins, they've been building something for all of you, actually.
Oh. I'll make sure to let Alexios and the others know, and we'll
Yes.
head over that way. But how has it been? I hear you're on the council now.
It's been quite busy. I am still coming into this role. There are still people in the city who think that I'm a murderer and that I killed Phaeton so that I could lead the temple. So I'm working against that. But there are other people who know that that's not the case. I am just trying to open myself up to Apollo, and I know that I'm not Phaeton, and I'm not trying to be Phaeton. I'm just trying to bring some light into this city.
You are a noble man. That is a noble cause. And I love you. Even though I didn't know your name was O instead of L.
Would you like some company if you'd like to pray?
Yes, please. You wanna join me? I can't bring you with me if it works, but I mean,
No,
you'll
of
be there
course
in my
not.
heart.
course.
You'll be there
Come.
in spirit.
Kneel with me. And he heads over to the altar and kneels down in front of it.
And I insight check this man. Is he stronger cleric wise? His connection to Apollo seemed like more stronger than the last time I met him.
You can go ahead and make
I don't
a
know.
wisdom check. Just a straight wisdom check.
Woohoo, wisdom. That's a 3.
I mean, maybe? he's wearing the robes, so seems like
Good
he
for him.
loves Apollo.
Those robes fit you well.
Alright, so you kneel down. What would you like to say to your father?
Papa, great man in the sky, he who carries the sun when I cannot carry the sun. Dad, I don't know, man.
Bold.
I hate talking to my dad. Not that I hate talking to my dad. It's like dad. You know, I've been through a lot since the last time me and you ever talked. I've died twice. You know, casually. Obviously, I came back. I think I just have a lot of general questions of the universe on this quest, the gods, my future, prophecies, etc., etc. So, you know, like any other regular child of the gods, guidance. Also, Carl is doing pretty great.
Go ahead and roll a d100.
I love that dude. He's so funny. I can't believe I didn't know he was a gnome. Why am I the worst? Ooh. Yeah, there's a 66 hit.
The 66 hit. You send these thoughts up, and maybe it's just because, you know, it's in the middle of the day, so maybe he's busy on his sun chariot, but he does not respond.
Damn it, Dad. I really need you. I'm gonna look at Carl and be like, I see a vision. A man who stands on the edge of a field. He's looking for something. He's lost, and he'll come to you for help, and you'll know Apollo has greeted you.
Wow, that's miraculous. Thank you.
And if I ever get any kind of disguised self like magic, that's what I'm. That's
Sure
what I'm
thing.
doing.
All right. Alexios, Ilme, would either of you like to go to your temples?
Yes. I want to stay invisible though as I go in.
Okay.
Who is that?
Who is what? Oh, in
Mates
chat?
of Fate.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Alexios, do you have someone in chat? Someone's flirting with you in chat.
What?
So Ilme,
Phantom fingers.
the mates of, by the way, the mates of fate sound like the hands of fate, like groupies.
Groupies! I said it! It's like the fans.
It's our British,
Our embassy.
like-
Or are you a mate of fate? All right, so Ilme, you invisibly walk into the checkpoint, the Temple to Hermes here. It's less extravagant than some of the other temples in this city.
Oh my gosh.
But
It
it
was
is...
banned! Oh, sorry.
What just
My cat
happened?
knocked over and I forgot I wasn't muted. My cat knocked over a glass and I was hoping it's not broken.
I'm
It's good.
so confused. That
We're
makes so much
sorry.
more sense now.
So
I'm
funny.
sorry. I forgot I was not muted.
But you walk in, you see there are a couple people praying here right now. It looks like travelers that just came in from the road. You know, like they seem like travel weary, but they're just saying a quick thank you to Hermes before finding some shelter for the day. You do see the halfling man who is the head priest at this temple, and a couple other priests walking in and out.
I want to go to a corner where nobody can hear me because I'm going to speak out loud, but I want to stay invisible here. But I just want to go to a quiet corner, sit down, and just think about my dad and be like, oh, well, never done this before, but let's see if this works or not. Don't really know what to say to you, but be cool to hear from you again. Figure out more about my mom and you and why you let what happened happen. I mean, you're a god. I would think you'd be able to stop any of this. Why you never reached out to me before until I became somewhat famous would be nice to know as well. And maybe you have some answers. You're the god of traveling. You pretty much know everything. So I hope you have some information for me. That's about it.
All right, go ahead and roll a d100.
Does Ilme have the lowest of like the targets?
I don't know. She doesn't.
Mine's
She, I
already
mean,
37.
Mine is non-existent.
Yeah,
so
no, yeah.
Just say
that's-
37.
yeah, Ilme doesn't like pray to Hermes or anything, but she has like lived her life just as Hermes would have liked her to.
What the F bomb?
Yeah, Hermes
Yeah.
loves rogues.
I think mine's
Yeah.
maybe like 4.
I've yet to have to roll a D100 in this campaign.
What'd you get, Ilme?
Like, that was the first
you use
time
the-
for me,
how
but
much
I got a 19.
Okay.
Ayo!
So you're in this.
Nice talk.
You're tucked into this corner, and you're saying this quietly but out loud. And you wait. And you see, like, one of the priests is, like, sweeping around the edge of the room and is getting somewhat close to you, unbeknownst to him. He's just sweeping as he gets close enough where you're almost like you're gonna potentially need to get out of his way. He stops and he just sits on a bench and goes, "Hi."
It worked. Wow. Hello. I have questions.
I know you do, and I don't have time to answer all of them, but I'd like to try to answer some.
So you heard what I asked?
I
Why
did.
you never...
I think the first question that I want to answer is why I let your mother die. I know that was hard. But it's not our place to get in the way of the fates. I should know that more than anyone. I'm the one that takes the souls and brings them to their final resting place. So I had a chat with you, Mama. After all
What
that.
you have to say?
She said thank you. It wasn't my choice for that mark on your hand. That was her. She wanted you to be normal. She wanted you to grow up without some sort of responsibility on your shoulders. And as much as you think that the gods are omniscient, we're not. I can move pretty fast, but I'm still not everywhere at once. And there's something that your mama understands about demigods and the connection that gods have with them that lots of people don't. That mark that would have had my symbol on it, that is what allows me to know where you are. It's what allows me to check up on you. But because your mama wanted me to, we burned it off. She didn't want you to be a demigod daughter of Hermes. She wanted you to be her daughter. And I respected that. But it meant that once I left, I couldn't check up on you. I didn't know where you were. I just have to rely on sheer dumb luck to find you. And I confess, wasn't necessarily a top priority of mine. You seem to find your way fine. And look at you now. You don't need me. I'm happy I'm here now. But you don't need me. You're everything your mama wanted you to be. Independent, strong.
Okay. So, the whole entire reason why you found me the first time is because I'm finally making a name for myself. Would you have ever reached out to me if I was just a normal person that you just stumbled upon? Would you even thought of getting to know me at all? Or is it just because of these people that I'm around and the influence that I now have?
I found you because I heard about what happened here. I knew I'd left you in Delphi. When I heard about the dragon and the demigods. And then you started traveling. You had never traveled before. When you were on the road, heading to Indola's Stand, heading to the Blood Shore, heading to Voltura, I could see you. That's my domain, baby. And every time when you slept on the side of a road, I was looking over you just like I was looking over every other traveler. I didn't know who you were. Not until you made yourself known to me. But if you had shown any sort of interest in forming a connection with me, well, then I'd certainly consider it. But you never prayed to me. You never asked for me to do anything for you at all. So I offered you the same protection I offer everyone on the road.
Okay. Switching topics here while I have your attention. So,
I know about this war, this godly war that could be coming upon us. Is it true it's gonna happen sooner rather than later?
I can't see the future. But I do know that Olympus is tense right now. We can't talk to Hades. The links of Tartarus are out there. Enemies of the gods, long dormant, are gaining in power, gaining in followers. Doesn't look good, I'll tell you that. But I like our
Can you
chances.
Can you give me any insight on these enemies? Would we personally know who they are?
Well, you've met some of them. Apotrepo, Tromocrates, the Sisters Six, ancient dragons. These are all relics of the past. And they're all stirring. See, I don't think there's going to be one war. I think there's going to be several simultaneous wars. Maybe the links of Tartarus are one battlefield. Ancient dragons, another battlefield. Tromocrates, another battlefield. On and on. I think you're going to need some help if you're hoping to fight in it.
Well, if you're willing to help, I'll gladly take any I can get. If you know of anybody, send them our way. We'll be in Delphi and or Syllovyn for a little bit.
There is a trio of Zeus's kids roaming around the Zendarian Empire right now. They're also searching for things, but not as successfully as you are. But I'll tell you something. Kin to kin. I don't know if your friend Regin told you about the conversation he was privy to. But there was a task that we were hoping your group would partake. Now, we're undecided now, but I'm still rooting for you. I'm still rooting for y'all to be the heroes of this story.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure with what we've done so far, we can definitely conquer whatever comes our way.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. It really does mean a lot.
Of course. I can't see where you are. But if you call out for me, I can find you.
Good to know.
Now scoot your ass. I gotta clean that corner.
I get up, still invisible, and just walk out.
Okay. So, we'll say for the purpose of ease that all four of you come out of your temples around the same time. And Alexios, you can walk out and be around there at the same time if you'd like as well. I know some of you like to go to the library. Is there any other stops people are wanting to make?
Yeah, I want to go find somebody to draw a picture.
Sure. You could head to the Fishbone District for that.
Let's
Yep.
to talk to the Hades cleric again. Like in
Oh, you
person
want to talk to
this
the
time.
Hades
Last
cleric?
time it was, yeah.
Alexios?
I never would have left the mansion.
Okay.
Oh damn. Well, since most of us look for Alexios this year, I'm just gonna tell them that Carl told us about the Blackhand Twins building us something or whatever. So apparently the Blackhand Twins have built us something, but we'll wait for Alexios and we can all head over there eventually. Or they're currently building us something. I don't freaking know anymore. I got my details mixed up a little.
Would you like to go to the Hades Temple now?
I mean, I guess I'm right here anyway.
I mean, you're right there, yeah.
Yeah, I
would
guess,
anyone
literally, I'm
like
right
to
there.
join Adagio? Cool. So, Adagio, You head to the River Styx Temple. You walk in. It's certainly the most melancholy of the temples here. And you step over the small stream of water that circles the inside of this temple. Whoa! Thanks for the gifted sub. And you see it is completely empty in here except for the Silver Dragonborn that you know to be Ferryman Petrin, the head priest of this temple. And it doesn't look like he's praying. It looks like he's just sitting on a bench here, head in his hands.
Walk up to him and just be like, mind if I join you?
Yeah, sure.
I heard,
much good.
I don't know. I mean, you never know what you don't know might be important to someone else.
Sure.
I want to find out what happened to Hades and, you, because first of all, that's scary. As a cleric myself, I would also be lost. Maybe we can help you. I mean, while we're traveling the world, maybe we can piece it together and bring your connection back and find out what happened to Hades.
I'd love to find out too, but I have no idea how you'd even start.
Well, when did you first realize you lost your connection?
Must have been, maybe a few days or so after the dragon.
After the dragon? And, how close would you say you were to Hades?
I mean, he was a source of my power.
I mean, yeah, but, did you, when you prayed to him, could you, talk to him, visions? He ever give you, advice, face to face?
We didn't really have that sort of relationship, but I have experienced his power on an intimate level.
What do you say that was like? Like a while ago?
I was experiencing the same sort of connection until suddenly it was gone. Well, he did seem a bit more distant ever since the links had been stolen. But he was still there.
I think maybe he was just busy. He was just overwhelmed with responsibilities and things that happened in his realm without him knowing.
Right. That was my thinking as well.
You wouldn't happen to know any, I don't know, warlocks of Hades?
Not personally. They certainly exist. Why do you ask?
Do you think it's a connection to, all of the underworld has been lost, or... Did we... Did Hermes ever say he was able to get to the underworld? I feel like we talked to him about this or something, where he mentioned what he was doing with the souls, that they were all backlogging.
Yes, essentially he could bring them to the underworld, but he couldn't get them in. The gates were closed essentially.
I'm gonna mention that to this man. Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to mention casually that I was be I heard from a friend of a friend who may or may not be something that the gates to the underworld were closed and all communications in and out seem to have seized fire in a situation, and connections to Hades like yours have been lost, and it's a pretty big deal when it happens to the entire world, so it's definitely something I'm keeping on my mind personally and on my plate. Do you have any
solutions?
Well, I mean, eventually I'm going to head to the underworld myself, and then we're going to see what happened. But I mean, I'm a singular person who's not God powerful to just barge into the underworld.
So
you wouldn't happen to know how to get into the underworld, would you?
There's one surefire way I know.
Okay, listen here. Unless you're willing to die for this cause and you want to go visit him and let me know through Speak to Dead, I don't know what you want to do here.
Look, I don't even know if that will work at this point, because if people can't get in...
But think of the things you could see on the... Oh, well, no, that's a lie. Speak to Dead would just be things you knew when he was alive, right?
Right. You'd have to essentially, You have to time a resurrection ritual. Yeah, there's no one's ever done it before, so you have no idea how it would work.
Damn it. I don't know. I mean, obviously, when one of the gods lose their connection to all clerics, it becomes something of importance. And as a cleric myself, I take this very personally. And I want to be able to help you, but you seem like a fucking ass right now. So I need you to pick yourself up. You have people who are counting on you in this fucking community. So right now, I need you to look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Okay?
He looks up at you.
Suck it up. You're going through a hard fucking time. And if I can help you, I'll help you. But you're not helping anyone right now in this state.
I can't help anyone. I can't cast magic.
Magic isn't everything. You are part of a community here. The people who come to you for advice and religious blah 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 blahs. That doesn't have anything to do with magic. It's to do with your history and your emotions and your connections to people. When you give up, everyone around you sees it. And everyone around you feels it. And you send a shockwave to the entire community.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm not good at those. Oh, yay, my +0 modifier. It's a 15, though, so you know what?
15.
That's not bad.
Oh, Elizabeth gave you advantage.
Wow. Let's hope it's better than a 15. No, it's a 4.
It's alright. 15's good. 15's good. He looks at you. He goes, "You're right. I know you're right. It's just hard, but you're right. I don't know the solution to this problem. I don't know if we'll ever find a solution, but until we do, I'm still a priest, goddammit. Thank you for reminding me."
No problem. I got you. I'm here for you. And if you want to gift me with some magical object of importance to you, just kidding.
Like, I so appreciate it, and I do take payment.
Okay. I meant it when I said it, though. I am looking into this, and if I probably will reach out to you randomly, because you're like the only freaking priest of like Hades. Freaking no.
You're like, hey, it's still powerless? Cool.
Cool. When did you, how did you forge this connection to Hades?
Well, I lost my family. My wife and my little boy. And I was lost for a long time. I needed to find some sort of direction, some answers. I couldn't understand why they would be taken from me so young, so innocent. So I prayed, and I reached out. And he told me that it's not up to us. It's not even up to him. But what is up to him is making sure that they're protected in the afterlife. That they don't suffer. That they're in eternal bliss forever. How could you not fall in line behind a guy like that?
I like this guy. He's cool. Okay, listen. What about connections to other clerics and priests of Hades? I mean, obviously you're very much used to sending, because it's the most convenient thing in the entire world, other than the fact that you can only say 25 freaking words. But, I mean, you must know where they are, and maybe you guys can, brainstorm it, and you can get me in contact with a warlock of Hades.
I mean, we've never had any reason to use anything besides sending, so
You so much. You must have met them in person. You know, pay attention to where they live, who they are. I don't freaking...
I don't really know what you're asking for.
You're useless. No, I did not.
You
say
just
that.
told me I wasn't.
You're not useless. You're useless to me right now, but there are people counting on you. Okay, listen, man. You're in the hands of fate now. Your issue is my issue. I'll see you later. Pew pew.
All right. So you walk out, we'll switch to Anura and Ryujin, who are both heading to the library, right? So you head across the main street into the training ground district and back. You actually pass the Light's Eye, familiar as Odella's center of power, and you walk into the library of Delphi. Have you guys been in here before?
Once.
I haven't.
Right. So Anura, you walk in, and it is
Wasn't
a
Anura with
circular.
me?
I don't remember.
I thought Anura
Whatever.
was
I'll
with
just,
me. When I
you
got-
know who
I
hasn't
wasn't
been here
in the
before?
library.
Stream has not been here before. So you are in a circular building, a multi-leveled building, and there are bookcases covering every single wall, and you see staircase up, more bookcases, staircase up, more bookcases, and right in the center is a circular desk at which a gnome sits, a male gnome with these big spectacles as he is peering over books and papers of his own in the center.
Hello.
Ah, hi.
I am
Forgot
wondering
what
if
it
you
was.
have any books about. Let's see. Actually, Honora, you go first. I need to think.
Yeah. I was looking for some books on the Muses, Urania specifically.
I don't think we have a Urania specific book, but we got a book on the Muses, all of them.
That works.
Third level, halfway around.
All right. I'm gonna look to Ryuji and be like, I need the helm at some point soon, by the way.
Okay.
Go get the book.
And you, little lady.
Watch your damn mouth.
Eldritch Blast.
Lightning bolts.
Please, no.
So I need. Do you have? I need a book or two about Persephone and Demeter. I need a book for. Do you have anything on like underwater, like ocean poison creatures that have quills? Maybe like what are they called?
Like a sea urchin?
Yeah. Or like, do I remember where the quill came from? Did I talk
You've
to?
already found this
Yeah,
out.
you've found the answer to that.
Well, yeah, but what the quill come from?
Oh, like what animal did it come? I don't think Nadar knew that, but that they're
A lot of work.
used by that specific subset of Tritons.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe, do you have any books on Oceanus or Tromocrates?
You won't find any books on Oceanus in this temple or any temple outside of Xander.
Okay.
Guess what empire we're going to be in when we go to Syllovyn?
Persephone, Demeter. Okay, we'll start with those for now. If I need any more, I'll come back.
Third story, past your friend, about 3/4 of the way down.
Okay.
Alright, so, Anura, you find, there's a few books on the Muses. Some of them are more like stories of people who say that they've been inspired by the Muses, and some are more like historical, like what their deal is. What are you interested in?
More of the historical, what their deal is,
Sure.
and like any children of the Muses that are mentioned in it.
Sure. So you take that book, go ahead and make an investigation check.
All right, cool. Please be good. Sammy, your dice is finally being nice. It was a nat 20.
Amazing!
Oh, this dice has been rolling bad for like a month now.
So, you learn that there are 9 muses. There is some debate over where they came from and their origin, but the leading theory is that they burst into existence from Dionysus and Apollo performing together. So they're sort of considered their children, but not like physical children. They're more ideas that were given form. There are 9 sisters: Calliope, who is the muse of epic poetry; Clio, who is the muse of history; Euterpe, who is the muse of music and that sort of thing; Thalia, who is the muse of comedy and sort of like peaceful poetry; Melpomene, who is the muse of tragedy; Terpsichore, who is the muse of dance; Erato, who is the muse of love poetry, lyric poetry; Polyhymnia, who is the muse of sacred poetry; and finally Urania, who is the muse of astronomy.
Okay, what was the name of the one for music?
Well, there's a few that sort of hit music, but Euterpe is considered like the music one.
And then what was the one you said before Urania? Sorry.
Polyhymnia, which is like sacred poetry, divine poetry like religious stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything about like children of them and stuff like that?
It says that there have been many children over the years that have claimed to have some sort of connection with the muse. You do learn that more often than not, it's like a muse's influence is less affected by if they're like actually blood related, and more just like this person was taken in by this muse and therefore they were super successful, blah blah blah. But Orpheus is mentioned as a son of Calliope. And there are a few others listed. You don't see any listed for Urania specifically. It seems like there's a lot about Calliope, and there's a lot about some of the other ones as well. Urania doesn't have a ton in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you do learn something that you already knew, that Urania is the one that decides the placement of new stars.
All right, and consider. Okay. I'm so confused again.
Why?
I just in general. So that's the only things I could find out about Urania.
Yeah, I mean, are you trying to find the answer to something specific?
I'm just trying to find out anything I can about Urania because Triea couldn't tell me much, and neither could Anemios. So I'm trying to find out anything in general that I can because I have a theory and I need answers.
I mean, that's what the book's... If you have a specific question that you're trying to find an answer to...
So, I mean, like, so there's never been a recorded child of Urania.
It's not that there's never been one, it's that it's just not mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it say anything about how physically the influence of the muse can manifest for their children?
It does say that it can manifest in a variety of different ways. There isn't like a set 2 or 3 ways, and they can vary depending on the muse as well. And that some of those features, like some people are born with them if they are related to the muse, but also a totally normal person could then take on some of those manifestations if they have been like chosen by a muse as well.
Are like, what are some of like the physical ones like that are common? Are like birthmarks common kind of thing?
You don't see any listing of birthmarks, but that's not to say that doesn't exist. It's more like you hear about some daughter of Melpomene, the tragedy muse, who is able to like affect the mood of other people in a sort of minor way, that kind of stuff. But it does seem like their abilities are somewhat related to their dominion as a muse.
Does it possibly list anything that like they theorize could be for Urania if there was a child that they would mention?
It doesn't seem that way. Just it doesn't seem like that was like the prerogative of the author. It doesn't like they weren't really focused on that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So at that point, I guess there's not much else I can really learn from these books. Can I go ask if they have any books on children of minor gods? And like,
Sure. Yeah. It's a much thinner book. Go ahead and roll investigation check.
All right. I'm running out of room. Can I do math? 21.
21. This sort of borders more on myth than history, because unlike major gods, minor gods don't leave like holy symbols on their kin. So many people can claim to have a relation to a minor god, and there's no way to really verify that. But like, some people say that Achilles was the son of a minor god, and other sort of Trojan heroes were related to minor gods, and it's unclear. It feels like either there's a lot of children of minor gods in myth, or when someone becomes a hero of myth and a hero of legend, they are then associated with some minor god as like the source of their heroism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That gave me no more clues out of that book. Thanks, Sammy. I'm gonna go help Ryujin with the Persephone and Demeter stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, the other book I was gonna get was maybe a map or two of like, the world and
That's
apples.
extremely hard to come by, just so you know.
Okay, then a map or two of the Spartan
Delphi,
territories.
100%.
Damn.
The Spartan territories, again, like
No?
think about how hard cartography is in ancient Greece.
That's fair. Okay, then I'll just go after a book about Apple's Folly, if that's possible.
There's a book about the Trojan Isles, the Isles of Ilium.
Okay.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation. Uh, 14. Wait, yeah, 14. Is that it? Sorry, that's a 6. 15.
Gotcha. So it does talk about how all of these islands used to be called different things, and then after the Trojan War, they were all renamed to honor the Grecian heroes of that war. So they were all renamed in honor of Ajax and Achilles and Odysseus and yada 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 yada.
Is there a Trojan hero named Apples?
No, but you do know that the Trojan War started because of an apple. Apples. So as a little refresher, which is in this book,
I'm a little rusty.
Gotcha, not a problem. So the golden apple was, it was said to be a present for the most fair goddess, and Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite all believed themselves to be the most fair, and so there was a large-scale argument between the gods before it was decided that a mortal would decide who was the fairest of them, and they chose Paris, who is a prince of Troy. Then all three of the goddesses attempted to bribe Paris with various different things for them to choose them, but Aphrodite bribed Paris with the most beautiful bride, Helen, who was currently at the time married to King Menelaus the First, not the current King Menelaus.
Gotcha.
And that is the bribe that Paris took, and then took Helen, which then started the Trojan War.
I see.
It's also just mentioned as a brief footnote that Paris is now Aphrodite's champion. But that is why this is called Apple's Folly, because it was that mistake that he made that started the Trojan War. But it doesn't say any. I mean, it says it's like a small beach town with like some merchants and that sort of thing, but it's not particularly famous for anything.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was so important about the golden apple? Was it like one of a kind?
Make a religion check. Let's see if you know the story in depth.
being
I
given to the fairest maiden. It was just like symbolic.
don't know. Maybe like it was guarded by a dragon and a trove of golden apples, and I can get myself one and be the
Make
fairest
a religion
maiden.
check. Make a religion check.
That is
That's
a
not how that
22.
works.
I'll be
22.
the fairest maiden if I
You
want
would
to be.
you would know that it was a response to some of the goddesses being somewhat suspicious of or unaccepting of Hecate and some of her sort of like darker magic, and the fact that she used to be a Titan and that she used to be a primordial. There was a distrust there by some of the goddesses, and so as sort of revenge on those goddesses for distrusting her, she created the golden apple as a way to prove her power, essentially.
Just the one.
Um,
Just the one singular apple.
Yes, just the one
Yeah.
singular apple.
Is that why Aphrodite's symbol is like a weird golden apple?
That is correct.
Nice.
that adds up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't get much out of that. So let's research Demeter and Persephone.
All right, what would you like to know? I mean, there's a ton about the major gods, so what would you like to know?
The actual, well, I guess not the actual, so the timeline that Persephone is able to be in like the mortal world before being drawn back to the underworld, like the exact time frame.
Gotcha. So you know that make an investigation check. Just let's be sure.
Okay. Use my blue.
And
This is
at
the one
this
that you
point-
got me seeing.
Okay.
I wanted to help Ryujin with this. I wanted to see if I could find like what languages they spoke while we're looking through the book.
Okay, you can go ahead and make an investigation check too, Anura.
I don't know if they speak Druidic. Oh, it's a dirty
14.
20.
14 for you, Ryujin, and dirty 20 for you, Anura.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Wait, yeah.
Anura's answer is easier. There are accounts of Demeter speaking, like coming to some of her followers and speaking in common, as well. It's assumed that she speaks Celestial, and at the very least, it does seem like she is able to communicate with druids, so probably Druidic as well. And there may be other languages as well, but those are the three that are very well known by everyone, and it's sort of assumed that Persephone speaks all those languages as well as probably some other languages that she picked up in the underworld.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryujin, you know that Gaia operates on a 12-month calendar, except every 3 months, or every 3 years, there's an extra 13th month. That is a bit of a sore spot with Demeter, because every 3 years, Persephone spends an extra month in the underworld, because that's just when the month appears. So it's essentially 6 months in, 6 months off. And you would know, based on your timeline, that Persephone would have gone back to the underworld probably about a few weeks before the links were stolen, and like about a month before you like went to Looms.
Okay. And then is there anything in the book about Demeter? Can any god just go to the underworld whenever?
You assume so.
Okay.
But going to the underworld and going inside the gates is a different thing. The underworld, you think of the underworld as a plane of existence, and crossing the river Styx and entering into the land of the dead inside the underworld is different than existing on that plane of existence.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah. One last book. I want to look for something about like strange creatures of the ocean. Maybe a book about the plane of water or something like that.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
At this point, Nora's going to turn to Regent and say, "Can I get the helm from you so I can attune to
Hold
it when
on.
I get done?"
Researching.
I was going to go to the Bard College, so I was going to have it so when I got done there, I could start attuning.
I mean, I'll come with you if you want.
Okay, I was just
I don't
going to
have
go ahead and
anything
get it
else to do.
done. But yeah, if you haven't got anything else to do, that's fine.
What am I looking for again? Sorry, I got sidetracked before I was talking.
Investigation. Yeah, what happened to you?
Minus what? Sorry. As a 17.
Okay.
Jesus. I was literally looking at my character sheet and I was talking, but nothing. I wasn't looking at anything. I was just staring at it.
Love it.
Stupid.
So there is a book about the elemental plane of water. There's not a ton. I mean, it's an inner plane, so people have traveled there, but generally it's like mid to high level adventurers that are able to travel there. It's not something that everyone can do.
So on a scale of 1 to 20, what strength adventure
Jesus
would you
Christ.
say?
I mean, you need the ability to cast plane shift to get there, so that'll tell you something.
It tells me nothing.
That's a 7th level spell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I forgot what level spell it was. So.
But there are also people that have come to this plane from the elemental plane of water, so it's not like it's some unheard of land. You know, that's where water genasi come from, and there are some other creatures as well that hail from the elemental plane of water. So there is a significant amount known about it. It is a vast ocean, an endless ocean, that is only ended from where it connects to the other elemental planes. You know that there is one area called the Isle of the Tides that is one of the very few land masses on the entire plane, and it is only a landmass certain times, and other times the high tide makes it completely submerged underwater. But then sometimes it is completely above the water. And there are some other land masses as well scattered throughout, but that's probably the largest one. It's also said to be where Poseidon's divine throne is, where he spends most of his time when he's not on Olympus. There are a great many creatures that are said to exist on the elemental plane of water, and a lot of the sort of monstrous creatures in Gaia's oceans are said to have come through from the elemental plane of water. So krakens and aboleths and all sorts of hydras and you know, all sorts of like monstrous water creatures, even like dragon turtles and that sort of thing. You also would learn from this book that the elemental plane of water is one of the planes that was created by the primordials. It was created but even before Oceanus' time, and it is said that the primordial deity that created the elemental plane of water is itself, like the elemental plane of water is a physical manifestation of its power. And when he does choose to take on a form, it is said that he takes on a form of an enormous leviathan in the water, but that he rarely does. But it's not like something that Poseidon fights with, or even Oceanus fought with. It seems like the primordial deities that exist on the elemental planes are very much content with existing on their planes and being the source of all water in the universe, or fire in the universe, etc., etc., etc. That's sort of what you get.
Okay. Well, I got most of what I came for, I guess. So I want to Before I give Honora the helm, I just want to like put my hand on Honora's hand, like grab Honora's hand, basically double clasp, you know. And I want to say, look, I know I'm not gonna lie, that when you asked me, yesterday, about taking the helm and going by yourself, I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty worried. I don't like the idea of that, because look, man, you're prone to dying. Okay.
That's not untrue. You are correct.
And we're like chosen family, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you. I care about you, and you all mean a lot to me, and we've been through a lot together. And I trust you. I'm gonna give you the helm. We're gonna go to your home. I'm not still really clear how you feel about that.
The house that I was held captive in. There we go.
Yeah. But I just want you to know that you're not dragging us along. Like, we all want to go with you, to be there for you and support you and figure out what's going on, and so you can get answers to all your questions and have that closure and that knowledge that you haven't had for so long. So I hope you know that, like, we're all really sincere about that, and I just wanted to make that clear, because I don't know, I get in my head about that stuff a lot. I feel like when I kind of, I don't know, I feel like I sidetrack a lot, and that it annoys people. But I don't want you to think that that's what's happening. Like, we all care about you and want to help you. Plus, there's only one charge on this right now, so if we do leave tonight, we got to make it count. So, plus, I'm kind of interested to see how it'll fit over the helmet, or not the helmet,
Or the horns.
the horns. Yeah. I was trying to say I'm kind of curious to see how the helm fits over the horns, but I mixed my words up.
That's fair. I want you to know that once you said you didn't want me to go alone, I would not have gone by myself.
Okay.
Does Ryujin still have my forearm clasped in his hand, I guess?
Yeah, I still got your hand.
Is that still happening?
Yes.
Knowing full well that Anura is very much so not a tactile person, Anura is going to pull Ryujin into a hug.
Aw. A hug. Great hug. And a kind of squeeze.
Yeah, it means a lot that y'all are willing to go with me to Syllovyn to find this out. I mean, we would have had to go eventually, but it means a lot that everybody's willing to go now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have questions we need answers to and things we want to do. But, this seems like it should be, priority number one. I've got a bunch of questions about what happened to my mom, and I only have 2 leads, and granted, I could probably just chase after those when we go to Nepeot. But, it's like I've waited, it's been waiting years, so it's not like I'm in a huge rush for those things. I mean, I'm anxious, I want to know, but it's, my mom died a long time ago, and it can wait a little bit longer.
I'm just tired of all of my answers leading to more questions.
Yeah, I understand the feeling.
Yeah, let's not go to the Bard College. I think I've got...
I mean, we can go if you want.
I think I've got the answers I need. Let's head back to the manor so I can go ahead and attune, and we can go to Syllovyn as soon as everyone's ready.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Oh, fuck, I just realized something.
Huh.
If we're basing it on places that I know in Syllovyn that I can teleport us to, we're going
right
to
into the
basement.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Let's do it.
Well,
Send.
Yeah, the house.
Straight to the heart of the drop.
I know the house. We're going to let me know the house. Okay, good.
Yeah, the house. your block.
Maybe they
Straight
moved
to
to
the
the heart of the trauma.
Because I just
Yeah.
thought about it. I was like, they did let me out of the basement.
Yeah. All right. That's not always true. They didn't always leave you locked up in the basement.
Yeah, they tried to drown me in a fucking well. That was the other
Exactly.
thing.
Can we go to
And
the
left
well?
in the
Cornfield.
Wow.
We can go to the well or the basement.
Yeah.
Those are our options.
We can go to the well, and I'll take my flask, and Alexios can cast Enlarge, and we'll just get a bunch of water from the well, and we'll waterboard your parents with it.
I mean,
Holy
if
shit.
it's the drinking well, you could just salt water it, and no one could drink from that well ever again. And that way,
We're not
you can pay
fucking
respect
up
to
the
Anura.
whole city.
All
You
right,
almost died in
so
a damn well.
as Anura and
All you guys
Region
to
make their
destroy
way,
water, and then create water, and just replace it all with salt water.
as they make their way back to Sunbrow Manor, is there anything else that the three of you would like to do, Alexios, Adagio, Ilme? Anything you guys would like to do?
I just want to remind y'all
Yes.
of that Blackhand, whatever, blah blah blah.
Blackhand Twins?
Yeah,
Other than that, I
that's
don't.
one of the things I wanted to look into, actually, but not because I think I asked them to build something for Forge before we left.
Is it wings?
I said armor, but I don't know.
I don't know. I want to see Forge fly.
How long has it been since we left Delphi in the first place?
I can cast fly on them.
You test
Um,
fly on Forge.
It's
Yeah.
been probably like 2-3 weeks, something like that.
Anora, before we go, can we go look at the shops? They might have something.
Oh, I want to do that. I want to go with
They
them.
might have
I mean, I'm
something.
poor, but
I
I'll go
will
with
I
you.
will let
Yeah.
you know that they have basically the same stuff that
Ooh.
they've had this whole
I
time.
lie.
Oh, they're
Has
basically the same
Delphi
thing.
like rebuilt itself? Like, does this place still look like?
I mean, it's still in the it's looking better. It's not fully completed in terms of the acid damage and stuff, but it's looking better.
What
And
was
then
the
I
thing?
don't want to visit him, but how is my werewolf puppy?
Oh yeah, that's one of the things I was gonna
He
ask
is a
about. Is
grown
how,
ass man.
how
He is
they're
a
all
teenager.
doing.
He is a
Because
How
there's
child.
like a whole little
teleportation,
farmstead on the
right?
outside of the city, right? Just outside the city gates. There's like a
Yeah,
Oh.
there's like a growing
Yeah.
farm outside the city.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah,
got,
I
like-
helped start that.
they have like a house
I
put up right now, or
planted
do you think they're still working on it?
I'll say when you guys make your way back to the High Noon District, you could take a small detour to peek outside the city gates. And yes, they have built a house, and there seem like there are 3 or 4 other houses that are being built. They aren't the biggest thing. You get the sense that they don't necessarily want like a full neighborhood out here, but there is lots of farmland that is being farmed.
I'm
Nice.
so happy for them.
Real quick, with the helm, do all of the charges come back since it came to a new person when I attuned to it?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering if I needed to mark them off or
Yeah,
not.
it's just one right now. I mean,
Yeah,
unless you
okay.
guys wanted to wait till dawn, then it. it
Nah,
would have
one should
plus
be
whatever.
fine.
Famous last words. Death.
All right, so Alexios Ilme.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the Fishbone District to find somebody to
Right.
make a drawing.
Yeah, so you guys are Alexios, you're also
Can I
headed to
offer to
Fishbone
draw it
District,
for
right?
you? I draw
Sure.
sometimes.
Ilme, do you want
I
Adagio
mean-
to paint it?
I can try. If it doesn't
wanted a
look right, you can just go.
I want a
You know what?
professional to
I
do
can
it.
try, and you can go pay a professional if you don't like the damn job. It's fine. Be gone, child.
All right. So Alexios and Ilme head to the Fishbone District. Ilme, go ahead and make an investigation check. With advantage, because you're very familiar with this district.
22.
Yeah. So you go and find one of the visual artists in the Fishbone District. It's a human man that you're very familiar with, about mid-40s, straw-colored hair, and right now he's got his tongue out as he's working on a canvas. As you approach, you know his name is Tornok.
Hey, Tornok, I got a request for you.
Uh-huh. What's up?
I need you to make a painting for me. I know you're a little busy right there.
What do you need?
I was hoping that you could maybe make a painting based off of a child I knew, but grown up. If I gave you enough description. try to imagine what he would be like about my age. I knew him when he was, what, 7? 10? How old was he?
Probably closer to 7 than 10.
7? Okay, that's what I thought.
This is why I say Ilme has the brain cell of the group.
That's an interesting prompt. I don't know how accurate it would be.
Well, I'm just trying to get ballpark things. Just kind of imagine what you know what a 7-year-old looks like, and you
I
know
do.
how when they grow up, how they would be as a little bit older, my age. You can potentially gauge how facial features would change, how the baby fat would go away, stuff like that. I mean, you've drawn many people before. I'm pretty sure you can just pull off of all the experience you already have.
All right. Enough with the flattery. I get it. Okay. Describe for me this 7-year-old, and I'll draw a little sketch of just that, and we'll try to get that as close as possible, and then I'll fucking see through a crystal ball and see what he looks like now.
It's like one of those age up apps, or like
Yeah,
Twitter
for
or
sure.
Snapchat or something.
For sure.
Yeah. I don't remember what Philippus looks
That's
like.
fine. So you describe Philippos.
Did I ever met his like, dad or something?
Huh?
What did he look
His
like?
dad. Well, his
Dead.
dad's dead as well, so.
Oh, pfft.
He
Attempt to look
exploded
for
his
parents.
dad.
I don't know.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh, I thought he exploded himself in that vision.
He did.
No.
Oh, JK.
Yeah.
But
Goodbye.
Keeneye.
Keeneye had him brought back to life.
yeah.
Not the dad.
Am
I
I
feel like I'm
missing
on
Not the
the
dad or
episode
the
of
mom.
What
Bones
happened?
right now, and you just took everything to Angela, and you were like, "Put it in the Angela-tron, figure it
Yeah.
out."
If
No,
you guys
I'm
don't remember, and
forgetting
this the
so
stream,
much.
this was pre-stream, so the stream also doesn't know what's going on. But we talked about it in the Threads of Fate episode with Ilme. But Philippos was her neighbor in her like duplex. Like they lived on the bottom floor, and Ilme lived on the top floor. And this boy Philippos was her friend. And then one night, Philippos exploded essentially. Like Keeneye came and had heard something about Philippos, and Philippos got agitated, and he exploded, and killed his parents and himself. And
How does that happen? How does someone just come?
It's a great question. It's a great question. It was some sort of magic that
Obviously
Keeneye
never
seemed
named.
interested in, and so Keeneye had his people resurrect Philippos, bring him back to life, and then he took him.
Never to be seen from again. Dot.
Human
so,
grenade just pulls a pin out of his belly button.
So he rolled a natural 18. So he is able to make a fairly accurate rendering of Philippos from your memory. You're not quite sure if it's perfectly real to life, just because it's been a long time since you've seen this kid, so you don't know. But it generally looks like Philippos to you. And then he gets to work on trying to age him up. That's cocked. Also cocked. Off the table. There we go. So, he tries a few times, and you see him, like, working on some parchment, and then, like, just throwing it away and starting again, trying again and again. Eventually, he does charge you 1 gold piece for this. So you can mark that off.
Okay.
But you do get a rendering. Looks around 16 years old. Has the same sort of, like, dark brown hair. Has a bit more of a defined jawline, some like early facial hair going on, and like a furrowed brow and thick eyebrows, and like you don't know if it's good or not, but it looks like a 16-year-old dude.
All right. Well, I'll take it. Thank you for this. Yeah. Doing good.
That was a weird exercise,
Okay,
but thanks for the break. All right, Alexios. You instinctually just head to the Blackhand's store, and they are not there. Make an investigation check.
Investigation. D&D Beyond. That's great. Alright, and I forgot what my plus is. You said investigation, right?
Yeah.
25.
25. Okay. So you ask around, and it's not hard. Like, people know where they are. They direct you to the Hammer, which is where the Anvil Arms office used to be, that sort of central hub before you get into the actual, like, artisans part of the district. And they're now sharing the Anvil Arms' old office are both of these brothers who are... They seem, like, extremely overwhelmed as they're, like, piling paperwork and that sort of thing as you walk in. They go, Alexios!
Hey.
How you doing, old man?
Great. How are you? Everything fine? You look adjusted?
Yeah, there's a lot to do. Don't have as much time as we'd like at the forge, but I'm just glad that we have each other so that we actually have less to do than we otherwise would. Hey, we have presents for you. For all your friends, actually.
Oh, really? What do you have?
And they pull out some packages, and they're all labeled with people's names. You see, there's a very large package for Ryujin. There is a medium-sized package for Ilme, a very chunky package for Anura, and an extremely small package for Adagio. And they go, we had a lot of different ideas for what to make for you, and we just kept coming back to the fact that you could make something better than we could make for you. So instead, we worked on a new coat of armor for Forge, right? And it was a bit difficult, but we have the teeth that you wanted, the new coated teeth, and we have the plans that I think will work, and we have the materials, but I'm sorry, we just didn't have the time to get it figured out. We're a bit confused over Forge in general, so you might need to finish it up for us.
Oh, that's no problem. I didn't expect you to... I just wanted your ideas or input.
Well, I think you like the teeth, and they give you a small box. And here are some blueprints as well for some potential augmentations.
Thanks. You wanted me to take this to the rest of everyone else?
Would you mind?
Or... No problem.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Did you meet my mom?
No. Your mom's here.
Oh, well, yeah, it's no biggie. If she's not, like, gonna carve here, then, like, don't worry yourself about her. Unless you want to meet her.
I'd love to meet her.
I mean, she's staying at Sunbrow Manor. You can't miss her.
We will absolutely make a trip. Actually, you know what? Would you want us to help you carry this stuff back to Sunbrow Manor right now, and we can say hi?
Sure, why not?
All right, brother. Like, yeah, all right. And they help you lift the stuff, and all three of you make your way back to Sunbrow Manor. Ilme, that would also be around the same time that you'd be done in the Fishbone District as well.
Okay, when I get back to the manor, I wanted to look at that scroll. When we got the time.
Great
that
question.
I stole.
Yes.
Roll a D100, Sammy.
No, hold on. I have an item for this situation, but we are going to essentially roll to see what you picked up. Asking to get to the right
mansion.
page. As a third level spell?
You should have reached for a higher shelf.
Or is it a different self? Yeah. Okay, so
Ilme is only
will you
so
roll Ilme, will you roll a D100 for me?
Okay. 26.
26. You have a spell scroll of Glyph of Warding.
Nice.
Cool. I don't know what that does.
What does
You
that
can
do?
look it up right now.
Glyph of warding.
Glyph
Wait,
of
how
Warding.
do I look?
You can like put a glyph on something.
Why does that sound
and-
so familiar?
It's a
I can read you
claymore.
the spell right now. When you cast this spell, you inscribe a glyph that later unleashes a magical effect. You inscribe it either on a surface or within an object that can be closed to conceal the glyph. The glyph can cover an area no larger than 10 feet, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, you put a glyph on something that then is triggered, and that produces a cool effect.
So could that potentially be like the amulet hanging from the dummy that blew up? That rock?
No, that was something different.
Okay.
That was a
Would it be more
delayed
like-
fireball.
What about like the
Delayed
Rakshaka's
fireball.
like open chest thingy?
Yeah, that was an augmented glyph of war.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everyone gathers at Sunbrown Manor, and receives the brothers' gifts. You can all
Santa.
unpack them if you'd like. Yeah, Happy Christmas, guys! Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Merry
what
Christmas,
is
yeah.
it?
Merry Christmas.
What it be?
So, who would like to open theirs first?
Me.
Ryujin?
Yeah.
It's hilarious, by the way, that you just gave
It's a
up your
trident,
trident,
isn't it?
because you open it up. It's like in Harry Potter when he opens up and it's a broom, and they're like, "No way!" And it's a broom-shaped package. This is a trident-shaped package, but you see that the tips are lined with shark teeth. And you can
Okay.
add a trident of blood seeking to your
Oh
inventory.
shit. Okay.
Holy shit! What?
What is that?
So it is a magic trident that will give you a bonus to attack and damage rolls, and
Oh.
any attack against a creature with less than half their hit points is at advantage with that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Who wants to go next?
I'll
go
do
next.
it. Oh,
Anura.
Yeah, I remember the chunky packages.
The Blackhand Twins explain that they know that you have a special weapon. They didn't want to give you anything that would get in the way of that weapon. So instead, as you unwrap it, you see made out of leaves and leathers and even some pieces of wood, what essentially looks like a breastplate. And you see there are arcane runes on it as well. And they say to all of you guys that, like, it was their ideas, but they got people to help, yada yada yada. You can add a breastplate. What's it called? A breastplate of life preserving.
What the fuck? That's so cool. If I can find it.
Yeah, and that essentially gives you temporary hit points every day.
Holy
Damn.
shit!
That's actually really, really good.
less
because
squishy.
Anura, I
So
think,
what's-
goes down more than
Yeah.
any of it.
Hold on, what
Anura,
is that?
you also are like kind of our tank though, because you're in
Oh.
the fight. Like,
I can get rid of the dragon scale mail armor then.
can I have
How
it?
dare you call anybody?
I'll take it.
One of you has to take it because
I'll
adding
take
that
it.
to my inventory put me over.
You could put it in the
Human,
bag of
human.
holding.
I'll take it.
Why don't we just sell it?
No, I want it.
Ryujin has said like
Ryujin
4
can
times
have
he wants to wear it.
Yeah.
You can have it.
What am I
Usually-
searching?
Design
It's
your
a
character.
dragon scale mail black.
Have I gotta be? I have to be attuned to
Don't
this.
you have-
Yes, it does require attunement.
I have 5 things in my inventory I can attune to currently, and 3 attunement slots.
Sorry. All right, who's next?
That happens when we're not an artist.
I'll go. What's my box?
Adagio. You open yours up, and before you open it, they explain. They're like, now we know that you have a special weapon as well, and we wouldn't want to get in the way of Adagio, of Apollo. And we know that your breastplate was made with you and Alexios, and we wouldn't want to get in the way of that either. But we also know that your weapon has the ability to augment if Apollo wants it to. And again, wouldn't want to get in Apollo's way, but we partnered with Keeneye, and we've developed a rune that if you could, next time you talk to Apollo, if you could show him the rune, it's possible that he might be able to associate that rune the next time that the sword augments.
What?
Essentially, it's an ability that we can't add to the weapon, but if Apollo sees it, Apollo could add it to the weapon.
So if Apollo sees
Very
this
complicated.
rune, it would add a ability to my augmented weapon or my current weapon.
I don't know, but it would be up to Apollo.
Weird. What is it? Is it like a ring? Am I just like holding a rock? Like,
No, it's a piece of parchment with a rune on it.
oh.
Yeah.
Can I stare at the rune? Like, what does this rune look like?
Yeah. It just looks like an arcane rune, but they tell you that what it would allow the sword to do would be that if you they call it the Titan killing rune, and that if you hit with the weapon against a creature with an AC of, I think, like 18 or higher, then that creature becomes vulnerable to that weapon's damage.
Wait, what kind of weapon is this? I'm sorry, I was reading. Totally distracted.
It's a rune that could theoretically be attached to Redemption if Apollo wants it to be.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Also,
would I
Alexios,
even-
we
but I
should
can't-
find a way to repurpose this dragon scale armor because I cannot wear it.
Do you have the same problem as me?
I will also
Yeah,
remind you that
no.
Dragon Skull
Yeah.
armor was a gift. It was a gift from Delphi for saving their city.
Oh, okay, true.
Physically cannot. Most of us
Well,
cannot carry it.
It gives me
Well,
one less
that would-
AC. Like the breastplate I have now is a +1, and
Yeah.
it gives me a 19, whereas the dragon scale gives me an 18, but I have resistance to acid damage. But
It'll
it
make.
also weighs
Tunes
45
would, I think
pounds.
you go up one as well.
I have a
Hold on,
question.
let me
What? What's up, Adagio?
Because every time I visit my father, I don't bring any of the things with me.
You can if you want to.
What the fudge? I
Yeah.
appeared to him naked the first time.
Yeah, first
Bruh.
time. That was a power move.
Oh, yeah.
Ilmay, you open up your package. Inside is a crossbow, a bit heftier than the one you normally use. And you see there are arcane runes along where the bolt would go. And the Blackhand Twins explain that if you put a bolt in, and they do it as they explain, and you see that the bolt begins to like hum and vibrate almost, and they fire it at a wall, and you see it goes ding, 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 and like ricochets a bunch of different times. You can add a crossbow of ricochet to your
Question.
inventory. Yes.
Will my amulet affect it if it's arcane in nature?
It's a magic item. It's not casting a spell.
Okay.
Does the amulet say
I just
anything
know
about
you
magic
said there
items?
was like arcane runes on it, so
Yeah, but I mean,
that's why.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the amulet, it only talks about spells being cast against you, not like
Probably,
items.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Ricochet, is that what you said? Yes. Cool.
Hold on,
All right.
That is really funny.
Yeah,
That's
sorry
really hard.
in chat who just did exclamation point characters. No one's typed that in months, so I never updated it. But I'll
is it?
update that now.
Adagio, are you able to wear what is scale mail? It's medium armor, or is that
Yeah.
heavy?
I can wear.
It's medium.
Yes, I can wear medium.
Yeah, it's medium.
Do you want to try on the dragon scale armor?
My breastplate is also +1.
Yeah, it would be the same for either of you.
Yeah. Okay. Then what do you guys think we should do with it? Because if it was a gift to us from Delphi, we probably shouldn't like.
We can hold on to it and just give it to someone else, like one of our officers or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
so
let's-
by the way, so before we move on, Ilmay, what that crossbow can do when you make an attack with it, when you hit with an attack with it, you can deal damage as normal, and then you can make another attack against another creature within 30 feet of that first one, and just take a small penalty to that attack. And if that one hits, you'll do damage as normal with a small penalty. Then
Yeah,
you can make
man.
another and another and another, always taking a larger penalty until you don't hit.
That's
That's
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
The only
really cool.
caveat is that you can't go back to a creature that you've already hit with that attack. You essentially have
Yeah.
Yondu's arrow.
Yeah, that's really cool. What the?
Really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So okay, what does
Merry
this
Christmas,
try to
guys.
look like?
Woo!
It's like it has
It-
shark teeth on it, but
Yeah. It looks like a totally normal trident until you get to the top, and then you see the jagged edges around it, and right like where all 3 of the prongs meet, there's a single arcane rune.
And shark teeth on like the tips instead of actual metal points.
Correct.
That's badass.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm gonna
Silver shark teeth. No, I'm just kidding.
thank the Blackhand Twins, and I'm gonna go attune to the helm because I need to do that.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick them both up in a squeeze hug. Just kidding. I'm not strong. I'm just gonna bend down and hug them. Thank you.
Wait, can we stay an extra night? Y'all got gifts. I got a project. They gave.
Are you gonna finish the project in one night?
I thought we said we were going as soon as we were going to stay the day and go.
We did say that.
Okay.
I will say, Alexios, you would be able to retrofit the new teeth tonight, but any sort of like major armor change would be significant.
Okay, because those parts aren't made.
Right.
Okay.
But the teeth are like ready to be put into his mouth.
Doesn't he already have teeth, or are these like special teeth?
These are special teeth. Yeah.
Gotcha.
While Anura tunes, can I go back to the temple and attempt to talk to my dad again?
Well, I wanted to pull Adagio aside real quick before you leave.
Sure.
Never. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought you could only talk to him try and talk to him every so often.
If
Doesn't
you
matter if I
succeed, you
ha-
can't
succeed.
succeed again for another week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe
have
I
a
was 1
request of
point
you.
off. God.
Oh, now Ilme needs me. Not when I'm offering my help.
Well, I have this picture of my childhood friend Philippos, and something like
Philippos.
that. Philippos. And I was wondering if there'd be any way for you to try and reach out to him with sending. I know you've never met him before, and I'm not really for sure how magic works, but I have this picture of what I think he looks like now. And I don't know, if you think hard enough, think about what this person looks like.
I'm
It's the
Any
greatest
way
magic
you can
of all
reach out.
I'm gonna do 2 things. One, can I see if I recognize this person? Like, would I?
Sure. Make perception check, I guess.
Perception! That is I don't even know what that is. That's a 16 plus. Do I even have a perception? Oh, that's a 19. Yay.
You have no
Yeah.
idea who this person is. You've never seen them before.
Okay, well then I guess I'm gonna Arcana check if I can gain enough details from Ilme to attempt to push
I would
magic
say
through us.
that's a religion check because
Okay.
you're focusing on your religious magic.
Do I get advantage?
No.
Can I say Apollo gives me
nope,
direction?
nope.
Damn it. That was my good roll too. This is not gonna be another good roll back to back. I'm just gonna change dice. Where are my other 20s? Okay, religion. Religion is just a plus
somebody
4.
you've,
so I'm gonna
met and that you knew.
Oh, you know what? That's actually an 18 plus 4. It's a 22.
Okay. You give it your best shot. What do you want to say?
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Okay. Hey, you think you have a connection?
I can try.
Maybe.
I'm gonna
So
push
I
as much
want
as
you
I
to,
can.
I just want you to say,
Isn't your dad
that-
like the god of messengers?
oh, sure, I don't know. I don't have that power.
Talk to your dad.
You have this power. You're the person I know. Okay, anyway. Okay. I want you to say that this is Ilme speaking to you through you. I'm trying to figure out what happened to you. I know what Keeneye did. Please reach out to me. Go to the place we used to visit as children.
That's a lot of words.
Well, summarize. I don't know.
So I'll attempt to summarize. I'm gonna act like he's dead. This is
I
the
feel like
seance.
you should tell the rest of the group this if you're going to go somewhere.
Ilme is
I'm
attempting
not.
to contact
well, I
you.
want him to Anyway.
Ilme is attempting to contact you. Is that 5 or 6 words?
6.
He's attempting
We're attempting to
contact
contact
you. About your
Bet you
card
can't
extended
contact
warranty.
warranty.
Okay. She knows what Keeneye did. Meet at the place. What did you say? That you always met her?
That you went to as kids.
Meet at the place that you went to as kids.
4 more
We're
words.
here to help.
Okay, bye.
Okay, we're here to help. For the second time today, you send a message.
Them. Juice.
Yeah. For the second time, you send a message that you're not sure if it'll reach its intended recipient or not. And you hear a response.
What the fooge?
Wrong number! No, I'm kidding.
God damn, that would have been really funny.
I don't have a car with an extended warranty.
I don't own a car.
I'm only 16.
What's a
Yeah.
car?
What is a car?
You hear in your head, tell Ilme I'm fine. If she wants to see me, you can get her to do the ritual.
Okay,
we'll
so
say
I'm
it's
just
not-
just putting this out there. When you were talking like that, you sounded like what's his name? Yuri something, the guy that voices Spider-Man in the video games.
Oh,
He's in
thank
Titanfall.
you.
He voices Sasuke in Naruto. Listen,
Nice.
that was like spot on. I don't know what's Hello?
I was gonna turn away from Ilme and think about it for a second.
Sure.
Because clearly this person has some connection to Keeneye if they want Ilme to do the ritual.
I mean, you know he has some sort of connection with Keeneye. Keeneye took him when he was a kid.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know this. Haha. I know this. Damn, but like, oh my god. I'm gonna look at Ilme. You're not gonna like what he said.
What did he say?
He says that if you want to see him, you're gonna have to work with Keeneye. He wants you to do the ritual. But he also said that he's fine. So I mean, he's alive.
Sure. He's been
Been
freaking
brainwashed.
brainwashed.
I can't help with that. That magic god.
I can't control the weather,
Well,
Jackie.
But
Damn.
he's alive, and if I can cast send it, maybe I can cast locate person. And if he's in the city, I can attempt to find him.
Okay, well, we have time since I know that ritual still has another 20-some days left.
25.
At least I know
Man, why are they so insistent
he's
on this
alive.
ritual? See, my question is, what happens to us after the ritual? Would we we never heard if we would survive, like what damage it would do? Because I'm guessing a god being hosted inside a mortal's body, even for a minute.
Okay,
would
but if we
cause
do it one
significant
at a
damage.
time, we can find out by the first person.
But
And I
like,
say,
Who are we sacrificing then?
okay,
that can't
I
be
can
good,
like heal
right?
under the sun. So I mean, if I
But why
decide,
does
I mean,
You
I
wanna
will
talk
say,
about
and
gods,
you know, whether you believe him or not is completely up to you. But at least from what he was saying to Adagio, Keeneye is interested in using you guys as soldiers, so he probably wouldn't intentionally put you guys through a ritual
Soldiers,
that
so is
that
like
is
he
gonna kill you.
low-key on the side of the Titans though? If he's trying to recruit soldiers,
we don't
like-
know.
It could be
I think this
completely
is
just
a
know he-
bullshit.
conversation for
he needs
theories
people
after
to-
we get done with the stream.
sketchy.
I'm sorry.
Also, have y'all
I
ever
can't
seen
be
a
of
wooden
much help
comb
for
before?
you, but
This is totally
at least you
random.
know
but I
Philly
bought a
Close
wooden
is
comb
alive.
for $1.
This is why we never get anywhere.
And now you
So-
know you can save.
Okay, well,
So I'm gonna head to the
thank
temple.
you for that.
Anytime, Ilme. Pew pew.
Do I see Adagio going to the temple?
You have to attune to the helmet.
Yeah, you're
We have
in
a whole
your room,
hour.
I
But do I
assume.
see him going to the temple? Like, do I see him leaving?
No, you're up on the
Oh,
roof.
I was-
You're attuning, right?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't say I was going to the roof. I was just going to attune wherever we were at.
Oh,
I guess you would have watched me and Ilme walk out of the front door.
yeah.
I didn't know if they walked out the front door. I'm just going to, like, as they're walking out, be like, hey, be back in an hour.
I was going to anyway, Mom. Damn it. Do my own shit if I feel like.
Leave
All
your
right.
ass in Delphi.
Adagio, you head back to the
Something
you head back
else.
to the Sun Center Temple. What would you like to do?
better pray to my dad.
All right, so
So
now the
Focus
sun
on
is
the eye
set.
everything.
Next time,
The sun is set. You are lightly glowing. You kneel down. What would you like to say?
Dad, I have to ask you some questions. Kind of want to be your oracle, which is a weird thing to say out loud. But also, you know, I got this really. Oh my god. Oh, whatever. I got this really cool gift thingy from Keeneye, and you know, it'd be cool if I can like do more things with my sword. Swing, swing. Kind of just use it to hold up my hair. You know, just regular sword things.
Okay. So I will let you roll a d100 again, but you have to roll 2 and take the higher of the 2 numbers.
Damn you, Sammy.
Because it's the same day!
You'll be fine. I believe in you. Okay, let's roll them apart so that I can. Okay, so the first one is a 40.
You're already done.
He already has advantage.
Yeah.
Triple advantage or double
the other one was a damn 33. You see what happens, Sammy?
I was
Yeah,
one
pretty
off, man. One off, Sammy.
You know what, Dad? You can keep your. No, I'm just kidding. You don't keep your sword, please.
Keep your secrets.
Alright, so that's a failure?
Yeah. Is it? I think mine's is only like a 33 or something, or a 31.
Okay.
How long would it take a player
A
in
33.
game
The other one would have hit. The 33 would have hit.
to like improve a score, like 1 point?
It would take more than time.
I'm actually gonna also message Keeneye. Like, use my
Okay.
last third level. Just like
Sure.
send Keeneye a message.
Saying what?
I got your gift. Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna call it his gift because he freaking made it. I suppose
Mhm.
is what he does. I got the rune. Wanted to say thank you, and I'm working on that ritual. Blah 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 blah.
Hopefully the start of a beautiful relationship.
Ooh, y'all heard that? Keeneye's hitting on me.
How did the Blackhand Twins get the rune?
They said they
on
worked
it.
with
They
Keeneye.
work with Keeneye.
Oh, okay, sorry. I missed
on the
that. I was
clouds.
reading.
Yeah. Alright, so eventually you all make your way back to Sunbrown Manor.
This is unimportant, but if you can draw this rune, that'd be cool. Okay,
Sure.
continue.
I can do that.
I might change it just because I have my own.
As Anura walks downstairs with this badass helm on their head, and you see their horns actually are peeking out of the helm. It's pretty cool.
So that's how it works. Incredible.
Would it shape around my
Just
ponytail?
an
I need
awe.
answers.
Are you guys
Time
heading
this
out?
answers out. Eventually.
What are you guys
Off to
doing?
Syllovyn. Wait, are we? Did we? What are we
I
doing?
mean, I'm good to go. I don't know if everyone else is. I'm gonna take the disguise off now, though, because I don't want to be a woman
I
anymore.
don't think that lasted all day.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
how long.
probably
it
done
lasts.
by now.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
done
I
anyway.
have to drop that.
Nice.
I'm gonna turn to the staff. We'll be Syllovyn. We'll be.
We'll be a whole city.
This is Adagio having a stroke. Clearly.
I'm just gonna like put my hand over
We're out.
Adagio's mouth and just shh.
Roxanne goes, Alexios, when you come back, you really should get to know Cora.
Oh
The avatar?
I swear to fucking God.
We're going to Syllovyn.
Okay.
Keep watch of the house and keep those noses.
Does Cora
clean,
have the
you
spell
dirty
control
rascals.
water? Because that'd be really ironic, to be honest.
Very funny. Anura,
Yeah.
Waterbender.
Yeah.
do you cast a spell?
Yeah, I'm gonna get everybody around me and cast a spell. Do I need to figure out where I'm visualizing, I guess?
Oh my
I
god!
assume
wait,
you're
wait,
thinking
wait,
about
wait,
the
wait.
house, right?
Wait, wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait, wait,
What?
wait,
What?
wait.
What?
Can you at least leave half of the freaking gate stones here in Delphi?
I literally
Where
have
was
all
it?
of them. Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna.
Hand them
hold on,
out.
hold on, hold
Give
on.
each of us a gate stone. That way, if we get divided, we can all just head back on our
Hold on,
own.
hold on. Listen. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to hand out a gate stone to all of us. I'm gonna take the blue pair, just because I have to, right? Ocean, it's kind of just
Sure,
a theme.
sure.
Anyway,
Holy shit.
I'm gonna put my other gate stone I'm gonna hide it in Ryujin's room. Like,
Okay.
where
I'll
would
just
be
give mine
best?
to Amber.
I don't know.
Here you
I'm
go,
just
Amber.
gonna
I was gonna
hide
say,
it as
just leave
best as
it.
I can. Can I roll for that just to like see? Because like I don't want it to just be sitting out, but I don't want it to be like laying in the hammock. And there's not a lot in Ryujin's room, so can I just? Like,
I'll
if there's,
say
like,
you know your room well enough. You can shove it behind a loose brick.
Leave
okay,
the rest of them with Amber. We trust Amber. We know she'll be
And
here.
I will. Okay, I'll give the rest to Amber,
Okay.
or not the rest, but the other set, like the other half to the sets that
Yeah.
I handed out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, find the best place you can here to hide these individually around.
Oh, Keeneye, I know we stole these.
Like maybe one behind a brick in Adagio's room or under his bed or something. You know, just be really clever.
Sure.
And then don't ever mention that you had these to anyone ever. You keep this to yourself.
Yeah. All right. All right.
And I hand Amber 10 gold.
Fucking all right. Sure.
I am
Alright.
trusting you. I'm like really close. I'm like
Oh my god.
like eyeball to eyeball.
And you don't have the helm on anymore, so it's eyeball to eye patch.
Yeah, man. My eye patch is touching.
Amber
Amber's
goes,
face.
Ryujin, I get it.
Okay.
I worked
Right.
for you.
Okay. And then do we still have a blood glass
Oh my god,
cube here?
wait.
We have a what?
Do we still have a blood glass cube?
I think
don't
one
know.
of us does.
I do.
There we go.
Okay. May I have it
What are
temporarily?
you gonna use with
I'm
it?
putting the rest of the gate stones in it and putting it in the bag of holding.
Why?
I will know
No.
because we're going after a link and we might need blood glass
Okay,
cube or
True,
something.
fine. Then I'm just gonna freaking keep them with me. Fuck it.
Yeah, we kind of need the
Okay.
Just wear them as rings.
So,
I swallow all of the other gate stones.
Can I
cast a spell?
specifically visualize
What was I
the
gonna
living
say?
room from my home?
The living room? Sure.
Yeah.
Anura, roll a d100 for me.
Oh fuck. This is the first D100 I rolled this campaign.
What was I gonna say? No, I was gonna say something
I
before we
can't
dipped.
do that.
Oh well, not important, I
I forget
guess.
how these work. I have to remember how these work.
Please be
Oh.
75.
Okay, let's actually roll them where they're not cocked. That works a little bit better. Okay, 93.
93.
Yeah.
So much trauma.
So much
So-
trauma.
With a growing sense of dread in the pit of your stomach, you visualize the house in which you were held captive, in which you were nearly starved to death, in which you were never loved, and your body disappears.
See, we're all holding hands, but I'm like hugging Anura as this happens.
And that's what we'll pick up next week.
Fuck!
Bloop.
You gotta admit, it's a good place to end. It's a good
I
little.
called it!
Like,
I called it!
I said it.
I was the one who said it!
I said that we should have had a plan. Y'all did not want to formulate.
listen, I've got lightning bolt or fire.
All
I
right,
was talking
guys.
about that- I was talking about this is what Sammy was gonna do for the cliffhanger. I fucking
I
called
mean,
it.
we're 15 minutes over when we should have ended, so like, there's no way it would have been anything besides this.
fucking called it.
Okay, love you guys.
I'm
We
really
will-
glad that I gave Triad the Trident now. Like,
Yeah.
not because I got a new one, but like, I was going to anyway,
Yeah,
regardless. But
yeah. Merry Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas gifts.
That I can't
We
even
will-
attune to yet.
That's not my problem. We will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.